Good afternoon, or evening, or morning. I should just cover all time zones, I guess. Hi, we are once again streaming on this Monday afternoon slash evening for me. We are playing some Sonic today. This song feels slightly loud, actually, which makes sense. Sonic music tends to be a little bit loud. But today, oh hi, well, I can't think of the character's name. Leo? Yeah, Leo White Fang Jump Scare, I think. I think that's his theme. Hedge them hogs? Ah, thank you. I'll do my best to hedge the hogs. Wait, this is not. Wait, this is Hellfire. Okay, I'm not losing my mind. Cool. Anyway, this is very, like, I put so much Guilty Gear music in this playlist, I'm like, I don't know if this fits the vibe of my streams. Because my streams, I almost feel like, are too chill to be blaring Guilty Gear music all the time. But I just like Guilty Gear, so, there you go. It's like, take a shot for every time I mention Guilty Gear this stream. It will probably happen a lot today, I'm gonna be real. Because I am back on my bullshit. Blazing. I'm hyperfixating on Guilty Gear. Not that I stopped hyperfixating on Guilty Gear, but it's back because of the latest episode of the anime. I won't give spoilers for obvious reasons, but it definitely activates neurons, shall we say. So yeah, I am very much in the Guilty Gear mood. I might even boot the game up. Actually, no, I'm gonna wait till Yuna comes out. Probably. We'll probably do a story mode run of Unica's story, in all fairness, just because I like covering... I don't know if I'll cover Lucy, to be honest, just because I'm not into Cyberpunk. So, like, 2077 specifically. I like Cyberpunk in general. I've never actually played 2077 or seen Edge Runners, so I probably won't show off Lucy. If there's a season 5 and it's like, returning characters, I would like to go through and highlight all those, but we'll see on that. In the grand scheme of things, Evo is not that far away, which is like a slightly terrifying thought that we're already almost to May. Speaking of May, next week we're gonna break tradition. Normally Monday has been the Fox Girls' favorites day. I'm doing something special next Monday. The fact that I'm coming up with this topic now should probably tell you what I'm planning for next week, but I'm not gonna say it until closer to the day of. Yeah, if you know me, you know what I'm gonna do, and if you look at what day next Monday is, that should give a decent answer as to what I'm planning. That's my hint. But also, this would be the second time I pulled this game out to do something thematic. So that's the other hint. The other one is not on my stream, though. So that's a pretty big hint, I'd say. I turned off ads. I'm gonna run ads manually if I do need to step away. But I'm gonna try to not have auto ads because it felt like it just kept forcing me to take breaks at weird times. So we're gonna try something different this time. Speaking of trying something different, I'm also just talking more because I've been feeling really chatty today. I've been kind of fired up all day, for better or worse. But hi, hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a good Monday. We're gonna get started with the game before too long, but I just kind of wanted to yap a little bit. Don't really have a whole lot to talk about, really. Again, I'm pretty sure topics will come up during the gameplay. So yeah, I think we should just hop in now. Sorry, Leo. We're gonna pause your theme for now. Okay, so that'll be the song for next time. Hi, Sonic Origins pisses me off sometimes, I'm gonna be real. There's some things about this collection that are still not good, in my opinion. One of the things that is not good is, like, you can't rewatch a lot of the cutscenes unless you go to, like, the museum mode, which is really weird. So, for the sake of actually showing off the cutscenes, I am deliberately going to use a different profile than my normal one. This collection's so frustrating. There's a lot to like about Sonic Origins, there's a lot to dislike too, so it's very interesting. Hi Chibi, welcome on in. We're just getting started with the gameplay. So yeah, Sonic Origins Plus. This is the Plus version because I am a sucker. And also just, you know, I had the hopes of eventually streaming this game, so it's like, hey, I can clear all the Game Gear games, except I think I have played Chaos once before. But yeah, this is the Plus version. It has like Game Gear games and all their 8-bit glory, quote unquote. The only two I finished of this list are Chaos on my own time. No, I think that was actually a gender ago stream when I played Chaos. That was a long ass. That was like 7 years ago or something ridiculous. And I've played Labyrinth. I did not complete it. I did not get all of the like Chaos Emeralds or whatever the MacGuffin is for this game. I really wanted a Tales of Adventure game clearing, to be honest. I've always heard really good things about it. It was always my favorite of the Game Gear games as a kid, so we'll try that at some point. Sonic Blast is a dumpster fire, so I'm almost curious in this game. So yeah, maybe we'll tackle some of these at some point. Triple Trouble I've actually never finished, so I'd want to do that before tackling 16-bit Triple Trouble for obvious reasons. Yeah, instead of just rambling about this, we're gonna hop into the game. Alright. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a tutorial. Alrighty, so Sonic 1 is a very important game from my childhood. I have a very specific story about Sonic. I got this as a birthday present, I'm pretty sure. But my introduction to Sonic was actually Sonic Adventure 2. I played the story demo of it and fell in love with it. Again, I didn't really branch out very much unless I had a reason to branch out, and like seeing a cool story demo definitely got me interested. So on that particular birthday, I got this as a gift, and then with leftover birthday money, I ended up buying Adventure 2 and just obsessed over all these games for a very long time. I'm still like a huge Sonic fan. I have my grievances with a lot of aspects of Sonic, I'm not gonna lie. But in general, I still consider myself a huge fan. This version, Origins Plus, also has Amy. I don't know who I should play as, because like Sonic is like the canon choice. Even Tails didn't exist in this game. But part of me almost wants to try out Amy, because I've never done, or at least I don't remember if I've ever done a full Amy playthrough. And gender, so we're gonna go with Amy. For Sonic 2, I think we are gonna play as a different character though. So yeah, we're actually not gonna see Sonic in this stream playthrough for a bit. So yeah, I am planning to go through the original trilogy. I don't know about CD though. In this collection, CD is chronologically second, which kind of reflects development order, from my understanding. But CD, in terms of like the games I grew up with, was a lot later. I did not play CD until Gems Collection on GameCube also. So yeah, if we're going in like chronological order of my order, then we're not going to get to CD quite yet. Though I have been trying to work out how to handle that for some games. The big one is Paper Mario, because like all three count of the originals. I know, must be tempted to throw in a couple others too, but those are long-ass games. But the point being, I kind of would be tempted to play all three Paper Marios, but the problem is I played them ridiculously out of order, to the point where, do I go in my personal order, or do I go in the release order of the games? So I'm a little bit torn on that. So one nice thing in Origins is they give you medals. If you buy like the deluxe edition, that's like $10 more, you get like 100 medals like straight up. That's the version I have because I wanted everything. So that means we have 100, even though this is a new profile for me, I have 100 medals to play around with. Again, the benefit of medals is you can unlock gallery stuff, and you can also retry special stages whenever you want. Anniversary mode also doesn't have lives, which is very nice. So for the sake of not wanting to pull my hair out, I figured Origins would be the best way to go for Sonic 1 and 2 specifically. However, I don't know about Sonic 3. We have more more viable options in a way. Sonic 1 and 2 kind of have a lot of options too. Like there is a recompilation of the mobile versions, which, I mean, would be kind of like just playing, you know, the Origins versions in a way. But then Sonic 3 is a unique case because, one, the Origins version is, like, not good in a lot of ways. Even post-patch, it's not the best. But the other problem with this is there's a lot more competition with Sonic 3. There's, like, Sonic 3 Air, there's Sonic 3, Complete, I think, is the name of it. There's several, like, ROM hacks, basically, designed to be like, oh, this is the definitive version of Sonic 3. So I'd have to look into, like, Sonic 3 Complete and see what that's like. This version also does have, like, unique cutscenes, which is nice. Shit. I almost missed it. That would've been bad to have already missed a special stage. I am going for all the emeralds, hopefully, which is the other consideration of maybe I just say screw it and play the Origins version of 3 anyway, just because it'll be a lot easier to get the Hyper Emeralds? No. Super Emeralds. So yeah, off screen I might also, like, get medals, because, like, I can use, like, debug mode to just farm medals, which might not be a bad idea at the rate we're going at the moment. Yeah, Sonic as a series, that means a lot to me. There's quite a few Sonic games I'm still missing, that I'm holding out hope will eventually get a re-release of some kind. Like, for example, M2 does a lot of work with Game Boy Advance, like the Castlevania collections and all those. I, like, really want them to do an Advance collection with Battle, straight up. Like, I really want that, because I've only played Sonic Advance 3, which is, like, the bad one, apparently. I don't know if it's actually bad, to be fair, or just, like, the worst of the 3, but, like, I've always heard very mixed things about, like, 2 and 3 specifically for different reasons. 2's issues are the special stages, from what I recall. 3's issues are just having to, like, find Lost Chow and everything. So yeah, there's a lot of padding in Advanced 2, especially, where I think you have to get the cow symbols with, like, every character or something. I don't know the specifics, but either way, Sonic Advance is like a dream collection, kind of. And realize I should not say dream collection. If you know, you know. I'm not gonna elaborate here, but it's like, I should not word it that way. For reasons. And I'm not gonna say anything more. But, yeah. This was another big case of branching out. Hi Freeze, welcome on in. Advance 2 has the Gold Star ring stuff that's very frustrating, yeah. I've heard Advance 2 is also, like, 3 and 2 are, like, just kind of frustrating to 100%. 1 isn't awful from what I recall. But yeah, I would love to play them all. I mean, I know there are ways beyond collections to play these games, and, you know, maybe at some point I'll look into those ways, shall we say. But for now, it's like, I kind of like official releases if I can. And again, it just feels like a slam dunk for me, where it's like, that seems like an easy game to re-release. Another game I'd be interested in a collection for, because we have the Castlevania Dominus collection. Literally, I really want a collection of Rush and Rush Adventure and Colors, yes. Like, a collection by M2 with those 3 games would, like, be really amazing in my opinion. I have so much nostalgia for the Rush games, and I do count Colors as a Rush game. They actually give this Robotnik fight iframes at the very start, so you can't just defeat him instantly, which is kind of annoying. It's one of the only big changes like that. But this also extends to the original mobile version of Sonic 1. I've also, like, never played Amy for very long in this game, so pardon me if I'm also just really bad at playing as her. because yeah, I'm not really used to this like sort of drop dash. In Sonic Superstars, they give her a double jump with her hammer spin, and I think that's really nice. I wish she had a double jump in this. I'm sure modders have fixed that. But this is also the Switch version, just to clarify that. So yeah, we're not gonna get any like fancy bells and whistles from mods or anything. And it's not a game I really care to rebuy. I should have just bought it on PC in the first place, to be fair. But I like playing games on console because I am frustrated by PC games very easily. Hi Mario, welcome on in. Just playing some Sonic. We're playing as Amy, which is a nice change of pace. And again, we'll probably play as someone else for Sonic 2. A character I have very positive feelings towards from childhood. I'm sure you can't guess, like, just looking at me, I'm sure you'd never guess who, like, my favorite classic Sonic character is. It's a complete mystery to everybody. I am being a little cagey here because, like, I do want the special stages, and for this game you need 50 rings, so I need to not get hit too much. There is a retry option. I don't remember if it takes medallions or, like, if it would take lives in the original. But either way, I can just restart a stage if we completely botch it, and we're like running low on opportunities to even get the emeralds. For example, if we were on like Starlight Zone, I guess, and we're still missing a lot of emeralds, I might deliberately reset to make sure we can get the emeralds. This version also has the benefit of widescreen, which is really nice. I don't like screen crunch. Not that it's really screen crunch, but like, you get blindsided a lot when you're going as fast as Sonic, and you can't really see ahead of you very well. At least I find that a problem. Fun story, Kid Me never actually beat these games. The only one I beat as a kid of this like set we're going through for this stream series, at least for now, is actually Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Actually no, just Sonic 3, because the way Mega Collection worked is you had to play Sonic like 3 and Sonic and Knuckles individually, like 30 times each, as in boot the game up and go back to the menu, like 30 times each. And that unlocks Sonic 3 and Knuckles locked on. It's really dumb. I don't know if Mega Collection Plus changes that, but I hope it does, because that's really obnoxious. So yeah, I mostly just spent time with Sonic 3, and not so much with Knuckles, because I kept dying and I didn't have saving. So I just had to, like, redo the entire game. Well, that sucks. Some of these special stages I think have really wonky physics. Like, you can just get bounced straight into the goal, essentially, in a way that I don't think the original had, which is just like the physics of the Retro Engine versions are not one-to-one. There are a couple cases of like just little inconsistencies. Like, the Retro Engine versions are like largely really good versions, but there's just times where they just don't quite work out the same as the originals would. It almost feels so good to the point where when you do have inconsistencies, it's like more frustrating, because it's mostly pretty solid. Yeah. These actually scroll like full 360 now in this collection, by the way, instead of being like, you know, a few frames for its spin. So it's like, it does spin more freely, which is nice, but also slightly disorienting. Weirdly enough, I'm not really getting motion sick from these. I normally do, so I'm a little bit surprised. So yeah, if we can get all the Chaos Emeralds by the end of Spring Yard, I'd be very happy. But yeah, if we were playing on actual hardware, we would have to basically redo that special stage in a different level entirely. So that is the one benefit of Origins. Again, in my opinion, the best way to play these games is to get the PC version, unlike me, and then just mod them, basically. Because, like, I don't think the Origins versions are a bad baseline, but they still have some problems. So yeah, if you can mod these like with the original music and everything, I think these are actually decent versions. There are also other weird quirks too, like the audio mixing in Sonic CD is abysmal. The FMVs are super loud for some reason, which is just really obnoxious, to be honest. So yeah, I'm sure mods have fixed like every major gripe I have with this collection, but in general, I actually think Origins... I'm gonna play Devil's Advocate a little bit. I think Origins is overhated. I don't think these are like ideal versions of the game, but I also don't think they're like as bad as like a Sonic Adventure to DX situation, where it's like DX just lost a lot of the original game's identity, I think. While this has definite problems, it's not as, like, drastic of a departure. IMO. Well, that sucks. I need to be more careful now. Yeah, Sonic 1 and 2, it's like, I don't really have any major objections to playing them through Origins. It's Sonic 3 where all the problems really start to kick up. Also, thank you for the hydration check. I will get to that at some point. I'm like trying to survive here. Yeah, I'm gonna be trying to run ads manually instead of automatically, so ad breaks might be a little bit more unevenly spread out for this stream. But again, it's just they kept popping up at really inconvenient times, so I'd rather wait for a moment where it's like, yeah, this makes sense to play an ad here. Oh shoot, okay, don't like that. Okay. Really don't like that. That's just kind of mean, because it's like, oh, you should spin dash through the caterpillars, and it's like, oops, they blindside you with a spring that just sends you into the lava. Like, cool. Really appreciate that game. Sonic games tend to do that a lot. Like, I think Sonic in general has kind of cheap level design at times. Sonic 1 is not great with it. Sonic 2 is real bad with it at times. It's like, I love Sonic 2, I'm going to criticize, like, a lot of Sonic 2 once we get to it. And that is the plan for today, to get through both games, because both, in theory, should only take, like, an hour to an hour and a half. Which should be doable for, like, one stream, but we'll see. Sonic 3 will definitely take its own stream, that'll be, like, a solid 2 hours for both. Basically all the... shoot. I'm almost tempted to restart, just because we will not have enough rings for the end. Yeah, this is the end of the stage, I'm pretty sure. No, it's not. Okay, we'll keep going. Let's see how this is. Trying to gauge the best route here, actually. Of the classic Sonic games now, the only ones I haven't finished are... unsurprisingly, Sonic Spinball, because that game is hard as hell, and Sonic Pinball, or Spinball. Wait, I said Spinball, I meant 3D Blast. 3D Blast is on the maybe list for me, where it's like, I would like to finish 3D Blast, because it's kind of a neat game. It's just kind of... I don't know, for some reason I never finished it as a kid, and I literally can't tell you why. Like, what about Sonic 3D Blast was... like, play the director's cut? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I actually don't know what the director's cut changes, though. Like, the weird part is, Sonic Spinball is... this is a weird analogy, but bear with me. Sonic Spinball, to me, is the... Adventure of Link of the Sonic games, where it's like... I don't like how difficult Spinball is, and I don't like how difficult Zelda 2 is. However, it's a game I feel like I respect more than a lot of the fan base, at the very least, like... Well, that's upsetting, we're 3 rings short, okay. We'll try this again. And not get hit as much, hopefully. Again, I know there are other chances, but I don't really want to get the Chaos Emeralds in Labyrinth. I'm gonna be real. So, I'm gonna play it too. Actually, Starlight's also kind of rough hanging on to rings during... Yeah, Director's Cut is very interesting because it was made by like an ex-dev at Traveler's Tale, so admittedly, there are reasons why he's an ex-dev at Traveler's Tale from what I recall hearing. But that's not for here, probably. But yeah, basically retooling a bunch. I actually don't know specifics though of what's changed in it. Yeah, in general, basically everyone says play Director's Cut. The version I would love to play is actually Saturn, but there's never been an official re-release of the Saturn version of Sonic 3D Blast. It's really weird actually, because like the special stages are different, the music's totally different. I don't know which one has the Sonic Chronicles song in it. I know it's Diamond Dust Zone, I don't remember which soundtrack has the really effed up version that ended up in or got really effed up in Sonic Chronicles, or as I like to call it, Sonicals. See, if it wasn't, I mean, I have a drawing tablet, I could make it work. The last level is extremely stink, but I still like it. You know, Spinball has a vibe to it. I think that's the best way to describe it. Like, the sprite work is really good. It's very expressive. Like, Sonic, I mean, it kind of leans into Sad AM anyway, but I think it's actually really good, like, sprite work. It's very fun in terms of how it's animated. But yeah, it's just hard as hell, basically. So it is a kind of a game I have mixed feelings on, because I can see the vision, basically. And again, that's how I feel about Zelda 2 also, where it's like, there's a really good game under here if it just didn't kick my ass nearly as much. And also, I will swear by the music of Sonic. Spinball actually being kind of nice. The options theme is just comical, obviously, because of how, like, very Genesis grungy it is, but it's in a way that I actually kind of like. I don't know what that says about me as a person, to be honest, but I legitimately kind of like the options theme. I can't tell you if it's ironic or unironic, but it is a song I appreciate. Shit, oh, that's stupid. The iframes didn't kick in until after I hit it, like, for a second. That's really annoying. But again, it's like we're gonna end up having to, like, replay a stage anyway for the Chaos Emerald, so if we just wait till later, so might as well pick a stage that's a little bit easier, is my logic. Easier in air quotes. Sonic 1 is not an easy game. But again, it's like, if you saw me play Pikmin last week, you should not be surprised. I can be very stubborn when it comes to getting a good run of something. I really should try speedrunning. I think I'd enjoy it. I used to try. I tried to stream, not stream, but speedrun Mario 64 a long ass time ago. Like, literally a decade ago at this point. I attempted to speedrun Mario 64. I think my time was like 29 something, so not anything to write home about by, you know, 16-star standards, but I was also running it on like Wii Virtual Console, so it kind of didn't run great in terms of, like, you know, emulation accuracy, so there's like things that are a lot harder to do. Also, the N64 controller is like really weird, and so a lot of games don't emulate it properly. It's like, if you ever want an example of that, play the archery minigame in the two Zelda games, or the slingshot minigame, that works too, on like Virtual Console through Switch, and it feels really wrong, because the analog sensitivity is completely out of whack from where the N64 would have it. And it's just because that control stick was so explicitly designed a certain way that other consoles have trouble emulating, basically. I have hope for the 8BitDo analog 3D controller. It's supposed to also work on Switch, which is really nice. I think 8BitDo confirmed that a lot of accessories will still work on Switch too also. So like an 8BitDo Ultimate might be a better way to go than like the actual Pro Controller. But I guess that remains to be seen. It's cheaper at the very least. It's like, you know, $70 instead of $85, so, you know, can't complain there. Okay, this... Marble might be one of the, like, other really frustrating zones for me personally. Like, I don't even think Marble Zone's that hard. I just, for some reason, have a hell of a time going through here. I'm gonna pay for not picking up the invincibility, aren't I? Oh, also, by the way, the time limit broke in this version. Origins, for some reason, the timer will stop at like 9:59 and then stop, and you won't actually lose a life. You're supposed to time over at 10 minutes. Which is like good for CD in my opinion, because CD is like really annoying with how like big those stages are if you're trying to go for like robot generators. If I had missed the ring after all of that, I would have been pissed, actually. Yeah, a lot of games are kind of like that for me, where it's like, I can respect this game even if I definitely have a hard time actually playing it firsthand. And a lot of Sonic games are like that. Black Knight is one like that for me, where Black Knight does a lot of really cool things, but just, I still don't like the controls. It's arguably better than Secret Rings, but to me that's not exactly a high bar. Like, truth be told. So, yeah, I'm not really a fan of either. From a gameplay perspective, I need to clarify, I love the vibes of Secret Rings and Black Knight both. Like, their vibes are immaculate. It's just actually playing them I don't enjoy, which is frustrating. But I'm also stubborn, so it's like if I ever play Black Knight on stream, it's gonna be with motion controls, because I want to recapture the original experience of playing that game. Because that's part of my experience with it, is getting mad at the controls. Though, because we already did Adventure 2 for my, like, sort of debut, again, it's a very casual debut. But because I've already done that, I might not do it for this series. I might just skip Sonic Adventure 2. I think I already said everything I needed to say about the game anyway, long before I even planned this series. However, there will probably be at least one more Sonic game. The one I'm thinking is actually Unleashed, if I do another Sonic game for this series. Because I was so obsessed with Sonic Unleashed as a kid. And yes, I am saying Unleashed on purpose. That is the colloquial nickname for Sonic Unleashed on Wii, for those who have not heard that term before. Yeah, that's the version I grew up with, because I didn't have a PS2, or a PS3 at the time. I wouldn't get a PS3 until the following year, in which case I would have played HD in like early 2010, I think. Sonic on Wii's, that's me playing Sonic and the Black Knight as an asthmatic teenager. That is not entirely a bit, by the way, now that I'm saying that out loud. I definitely wore myself out playing Wii games. There are a couple of games I explicitly associate with having asthma. The big one is Spirit Tracks. If you've ever played Spirit Tracks, you know exactly why I would have had an asthma attack during it. I love Spirit Tracks, I am a staunch defender of that game, but yeah, no, some of those Flute Mini game sections can go to hell. Like, they are not fun. I don't know if, like, Phantom Hourglass would count. I'm almost like, maybe Phantom Hourglass would count for this. We also have a dilemma coming up here, potentially, just to pull back the curtain a little bit. Which version of Wind Waker do I do? Because I could do GameCube. It's like I have plenty of ways to play the GameCube version. Though my actual disc has seen better days. But also, Wind Waker HD has so many quality of life improvements that's like, I almost want to do that, but, you know, I'd have to hook up the Wii U for that one. Which is not as convenient, admittedly. Yeah, I could do Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass. I don't know if, like, I don't know, Spirit Tracks would probably count as a favorite in a way, but I almost feel like I don't have as much of a emotional attachment to it, even though I really love the game. Fox Girls Favorites is kind of dedicated to games that helped shape me, like for better or worse in some cases. Like with that Hedgehog shuffler, a lot of these didn't shape me in positive ways, but they definitely had an impact on me, which is a very important distinction there. Again, things can have an impact in bad ways too. Oh shit, that sucks. I don't even know what the way forward is. Guess it's this way. So yeah, Sonic Unleashed would count, you know, but like Rush probably wouldn't. I like the game, but I don't think it was like a transcendent experience for me. I'm trying to keep the list narrowed to like 50, by the way, which is also proving to be very difficult, because I keep wanting to add games. There are a couple of games I've already skipped, partly because atmosphere would be bad. So for example, also, hi Icy. But 2 games well actually just 1 so far. 1 game I definitely could have done for Fox Girls Favorites, but skipped, was Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2. Because, like, without music, it's just kind of boring. Like, I tried playing, like, Rogue Squadron without music, and it's just like, this is just kind of depressing, actually. Like, a Star Wars game without music is just kind of blah. And the same goes for, like, Lego Star Wars, too. Like, 2 as in the number and 2 as in the preposition. It's actually both. But yeah, Lego Star Wars is a case of like, I don't know, without the music it's just kind of bland. So I don't know if I'd do Lego Star Wars, as much as that game was important to me. Just like having McLeod over it, problem solved. To be fair, that would work, but I mean, I've already skipped 1 Star Wars game from my childhood. It's like, did I go back and do Rogue Squadron then? And the other one I think would be fine, but I'm still doing research on if it's fine, because I don't know if it actually uses movie music. But another very, like, transformative game for me was Spider-Man 2 of all things, because I grew up with that game, and I really like open world games. I think that game was very, like, it definitely left an imprint on me very young. I was just like, hey, it's fun just going around this big open area. In a lot of cases, not even accomplishing anything, we're just kind of like exploring. I never even did get all the tokens in that game, because a lot of them are just like absurdly hidden. Like Croc levels of absurdly hidden. Save the balloon, yeah. So yeah, Spider-Man 2 is like a maybe. I'm kind of debating if I should keep out a lot more licensed games just because of, you know, copyright and everything. But yeah, we'll see. But again, the big question I actually need to work on right now is what version of Sonic 3 do I play next time? Which will probably, again, not be next week, because again, I have something special planned for next Monday. Again, if you weren't here for the hint earlier, it's like, look at the date of that stream, what next Monday is, and I think you might be able to extrapolate what I'm planning for that day. Yeah, I could always do Air, and I know the Sonic 3 Complete. Again, Origins has special stage retries though, which is really nice as someone who's really bad at Blue Sphere, actually. It's actually interesting watching people play Blue Sphere for the first time, because it's like, it is a lot to take in, and I think we kind of underestimate that as like people who have been playing Sonic for like years and years. There's a lot of games like that. Mario 3 is mine, where it's like, whenever people tell me like, oh, Mario 3 like kicks my ass, I'm just kind of like, oh right, I forgot this game is actually like hard. Because it's like, I've been playing this game for almost 25 years now. It's like, I forget how difficult the game actually is. You getting good at Blue Sphere despite hating it? Oh. See, I kind of like it conceptually, I just feel like it's disorienting. Especially in the high speed sections, it's just a lot. Gotta go fast. Slowly inches through levels because I'm trying to hang on to my rings. That might not have been the best time to take a drink, depending on which special stage it had been, so I'm glad it was one where they didn't immediately toss me into an obstacle. This is actually a question, I'm gonna toss this out here. What is everybody's favorite special stages? I don't think I have a strong preference on any. I mean, my bias is half-pipe, as much as people complain about half-pipe being in every, like, other game. I'm a Sonic 2 girl. What can I say? Watch me completely fuck up everyone next time. Ah, that's not gonna happen. I'm not that bad at Sonic 2 special stages. She said, knowing she's jinxing herself for the future. Alright, there it is. Oh, shoot. Okay. Alright, panic. It's like, what the hell are these special stages? They just feel like so surreal. Split between Mania and Rush. Rushes are very good. The song helps, I'm not gonna lie. I need to play JSR, now that I'm saying this out loud. Is JSR also a copyright nightmare? I think it is, right? Because, like, on one hand, that'd be fun for, like, a game clearing, but on the other hand, copyright hell. So, it might be better to do off-stream. Maybe I should just do Bomb Rush, then. You know, compromise a bit, just do that. So only certain songs are, I swear one of the only songs I know from JSRF is Birthday Cake. I wonder whose fault that is. I'm gonna call it Mulligan. I know we just started the stage, but I'm gonna call it Mulligan. The choice of allergy season. Oh my god. I could do the funniest thing in 4 months. Okay, that works. Neat. I wasn't exactly bursting with confidence for that move, that roll. Speaking of roll, I also need to play more Mega Man. I've actually never played any other Mega Mans except 2 and 7, of all things. Do not ask me why I played Mega Man 7 and skipped all the others. Like, 2 makes sense, because, you know, people always are like, 2's the best one, or 3's the best one. Hi Peter, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well. We are playing Sonic 1 at the moment. I'm trying not to die. Sucker Superstars? Oh my god, that would count, wouldn't it? So I've only really ever played MM7. That's fair. How does she feel about the final boss? I'm just wondering. You know, Sega has the chance to do the funniest thing with the Switch 2. Ah, okay. Move on. Ah, shit. Ring Racer special stages? Oh. Well, so I'm probably gonna have to restart the stage anyway. I'm just gonna pause, shout out. Like that. You can't hear, but have a good day. Ah, thank you. I know you can't hear me, but thank you. I don't know why I'm responding like this then. Yeah, hi, to all the raiders. Hi, I'm Yuna. I am a Snowfox VTuber, and I mostly play retro games. I'm currently working through a series of streams I've dubbed Fox Girls Favorites that are basically me playing a lot of my favorite games. We're currently still in the childhood game arc of this series. This would be circa 2003, if I'm not mistaken. That was when I would have played this. And yeah, this is like game number 7 or 8, I think. I think this is game number 7. So like, the interesting thing about this is... Oh my god, this is gonna bog down horrifically. I like RPGs, so this is gonna be a problem someday, but that's a problem for future me. Yeah, if you have to raid and run, feel free, but thank you for stopping by nonetheless. Really appreciate it, as always. Thank you very much. What else? Ah, shit. I'm having really bad luck in these stages, to be honest. And again, I'm trying to get the Chaos Emeralds as fast as possible, so that's why I'm, like, restarting a bunch for these. Which again, is a little tedious, but again, it's like... We're gonna have to do this anyway, so I'd rather do it for Spring Yard than, like... Labyrinth. I forgot the name for a moment. I kind of blocked it out, I think. But yeah, Amy basically has a drop dash, in essence. Wait, that actually works, okay. I should be using that more. Yeah, she basically has a more powerful drop dash, but it's actually, it doesn't curl her into a ball, which means she can't take damage once the animation ends, so you have to kind of time that. I've gotten soft-locked in that section with the springs. I don't know if they fixed that or not, but yeah, you can get soft-locked, at least at the launch version of Sonic Origins. Also don't know if that's a thing in the mobile port. Okay, so this hitbox is way bigger than it looks, so I'm gonna wait a ridiculously long time for it to pass by. Is this Act 1 or 2? I'm spacing out hardcore, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not... It is Act 2? Okay, so this should be our last Chaos Emerald then. I think there's a way to enable a 7th Chaos Emerald in the mobile port to get like a special, like, original 7th special stage. I want to say there was actually a glitch in the Origins where if you got it with Tails, the game would crash or something. Like, I don't know if they ever fixed that or not. I'm sure, again, fans have by now. Again, if I mention any glitches, I'm like 99% sure fans would have fixed it by now. Because that's how Sonic fans roll. Hi! Wow, voice crack. Hello, welcome on in, the one guy. Hope everyone's doing well today. Once we got the final Chaos Emerald, we can actually start, zoom in through this game a little bit more. Instead of, like, kinda messing around with these special stages. Oh yeah, this rotation is, like, trippy at, like, 60 FPS. Shit. That is actually not what I wanted, directionally. Yeah, okay, that works, I think. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that doesn't work, okay. Why does this one feel easier than the last one? Yeah, this one feels a lot easier than the last one. I want to say Sonic 4 is the same way, where the final special stage is actually easier. Yeah, I never beat the game, period. First time I beat this game, technically, if we're going by Origins rules, was Origins, but the problem is this still doesn't use the same rules. So you still have a problem of, I don't know if this counts for a game player of the original because of not having, like, lives. Hi Palisade, welcome on in. Can't stay long, but cheering you on. Oh, thank you. Really appreciate it. So wait, why am I locking in so much? I have the Chaos Emerald, let's get Fox go. Oh wait, hey, wait a minute, whoa, hold on. Hi Star. How you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Pat the good fox girl. Oh, thank you. I don't know why that caught me off guard so much. I think it was the delay between the raid and the head path that threw me off. You've done it legit. Yeah, I still need to go through like actual Sonic ones sometime. Again, I don't know why that works on me. Oh my god, Uni. I think you'd like Uni, it's just a matter of like... I don't know if I can recommend you going through Xenoblade 3 anytime soon, how long Xenoblade 2 is taking. Oh, and there's Poppy. I'm sensing a theme with these emotes. At the moment. I need more emotes. I need to actually figure out a way to, like, get emotes. And by that I mean, like, literally talking to people. Yeah, yeah, Ryan has a lot of Xenoblade emotes. I know there's a Nia in there somewhere. I actually found someone made an outfit for Nia in Vroid. And so there's a temptation to use that if I ever stream Xenoblade 2. It's actually not the main outfit, it's a swimsuit outfit, which is interesting. It actually looks nice though. Nia's swimsuit in 2 is actually not bad, from what I recall. But yeah, I've been tempted to stream Xenoblade 2 as part of this series. I just don't know if I want to put myself through that. Cause like, if I want to commit to the series of like, oh, playing the games that changed my life, basically. 2 counts. 3 counts. Nier Automata. Final Fantasy 9, 10. I guess I could throw 13 in there. That would sort of count. Like, Jesus, that's a lot of RPGs. Thousand Year Door would count. Super Paper Mario. So yeah, needless to say, this series, despite being 50 games, might still... it might take a little bit of time. Which is why I haven't done a game clear stream for a while, because it's like... I'm kind of emphasizing this series because it's like something that I wanted to get through relatively smoothly. That's all the Xenoblade emotes? Yeah, that looks like all of them. What is that? Oh wait, that's a flip, okay. Loving RPGs and being a streamer is a curse. Yeah, I really feel that. It's like I'm over here like, oh, Clear Obscure looks really nice. I'm not streaming that game, even if I get it, because like that's probably about 30 hours from what I've heard. The other RPG I really want to stream at some point is Final Fantasy V. I don't know if I want to do a Fiesta, or if I want to do a vanilla run. I don't know if doing a first playthrough Fiesta is a good idea based on, things I have seen in the past, but I would not have the issue of backseating like some would. FF5 is fun, and you mostly do RPGs thanks to Smash, alright, that was kind of your incentive for that. The other thing I'm debating is Guilty Gear, because vaguely gestures at everything about me. I think I'm be able to play a lot of Guilty Gear for this series. My only hurdle is, do I go through every arcade mode? Because do I want to put myself through that hell, basically, is the question. Also, I should have said this after the raid, but yeah, followers are anonymous. Because I know I get very nervous seeing my name pop up in the streams, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I decided to make followers anonymous. NetFreeze is a guide, yeah, I know Freeze is offered for me as well to help me through 5. I really want to play 8 also. Those are like the last 2 classic Final Fantasies that I've not finished. And yeah, there's a reason I didn't want to get the Chaos Emeralds here. Hey, what if I streamed Danganronpa? It wouldn't be completely, like, unspoiled, because I know most of, the story of 1 and 2. 3 would actually, well, V3 would actually be mostly unspoiled. I actually learned something really wild, that one of the main writers for the older Guilty Gear games, and I also actually worked on the Dual Rulers, actually was involved in regular 3, adapting Kodaka's writing into an anime format. So there is a connection in the writing of Guilty Gear and Danganronpa 3, if you can believe it. Thank you for and you're welcome for the cursed knowledge. I've been massively hyperfixating on dual rulers though. Again, if you know how I operate, this should not be a surprise. Anime was a choice. I know there's like some weird thing where it like alternates past and present, so you have to like alternate episodes or something really weird. I don't know specifics though. Oh no, save yourself? Oh, that bad, huh? I know the twist of V3. I'm gonna be, like, just transparent about that. It's like, I know the twist ending of V3. I don't know all the details that lead to it, though. It's like, you know, it's kind of hard to avoid some spoilers on V3 with how much it was heavily discussed when released. I think I've told the story before. Oh god, Persona would count. Oh no. God, what am I getting myself into? I'm debating, because this also counts, maybe skipping Golden and just doing Arena. Just because I don't think I have the stomach for Persona 4 anymore. As much as I, you know, do you feel like it was a life-changing experience in a way? Oof, parts of Persona 4. But hey, maybe we'll get that remake in the 4 years that it takes me to do all the other RPGs I've said I want to do. Did 90 hours over 6 months? Yeah, that's kind of why I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do Golden. Cause like, if we want to go by games that like had a profound impact on my life, Portable would count. 4, and yeah, mostly just Vanilla 4, unfortunately. And then Persona 5. All those games did have a profound impact on my life in different ways, so like... Fear. Intense fear. Yeah, maybe I should just do Arena, because that was like the first Arxis fighter I played, so it is a game that has significance, and it kind of would also like be able to represent Persona, but not actually make me play through an entire Persona game. Again, basically my wish list for a Persona 4 remake is just fix Yosuke. That's literally it. I have my grievances with other parts of the game, but I understand it's a conflict of what I want versus what the writers had in mind. But like, fix Yosuke. That's all I have to say on that. Just make him less bad, please. See, like Teddy almost feels like an asshole, and but like Teddy, it feels more deliberate, I think. With Yosuke, it's just like kind of... The cut content for Yosuke is basically what I'm alluding to at the moment. And it's like... That alone being included, I think would make Yosuke a lot more tolerable. In terms of like having an actual arc there. With Teddy, his arc is being the goofy mascot character in a way that's like... I don't think anything can fix Teddy, I'm gonna be real. God, bubbles take forever to spawn in Sonic 1. I forgot about that. It's funny how much my friends are able to call me out on things. The amount of times I've been like assigned a character and they're absolutely right is like making me question a lot about myself. I was just thinking about a talk I had about Persona 5 where someone's like, oh, you'd probably like this character, huh? And I'm like, god damn it. Is it that am I that easy to read? And like the Nia thing earlier. Hey game? Okay, thank you. Wow, that took forever for some reason. Let's see, Yeah, no, I don't like all the close calls we're having, but that's just Labyrinth Zone for you. Oh, shit. Oh, hi, Zon. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing okay. Hey, chat, can I make a request? Oh, ads? Oh, damn. Well, I guess I should wait on my request then. I thought I turned pre-rolls off. It's really weird. But yeah, I have so many ideas for emotes, and I keep being wishy-washy on them. Cause like, my problem with emotes is I keep going back and forth on if I want emotes of my model, if I want emotes of characters I like. Yeah, I keep kind of going back and forth on which I would prefer. I mean, the actual answer is, you know, why not both? Just do a mix, but... yeah, if I'm commissioning friends, for example... do a bunch... you have to get a bunch and replace them how you feel. Yeah, the only problem with that is money. With like, because I want to commission my friends. Silver let me have the Yippee emote for free, and heavily stressed that. But like, in general, I would like to get to the point where I'm able to commission everyone. Frankly, I don't know if they're lurking, but, you know, maybe eventually, like, pay Psy back as well, like, pay Psy for the emote also. I know they said it's okay, but it's like, you know... Pet the rat, yeah, that was what I was gonna say earlier. I was just waiting till Zon was, out of ads. Shit. Oh, that sucks. And we have to wait for another bubble. Okay, at least it wasn't as much of an ass this time. Again, Sonic Adventure 2 is also a very significant game for me, but again, it's one I already heavily covered a couple months ago. The only things I don't think I really talked about during that playthrough is, like, how much time I spent, like... obsessing over the characters, just like basically fanfiction levels of for Sonic Adventure 2 specifically. Like, I love Sonic Adventure 2. I think the game is kinda... it's got some interesting design quirks nowadays. But it's one that I think still holds a very near and dear place in my heart. You know, warts and all. Yeah, I kind of understand that, Son. I have a lot of extensions for different things, and I feel like the extensions help in some ways, but then make other things are like, oh, we don't like it when you do that. What the hell, game? Please give me air. I want to breathe. I want to breathe is just kind of me a lot of times in spring, if I'm being real. A lot of times I make, like, jokes. I don't know if that even counts as self-deprecating. Because I'm just kind of acknowledging my medical condition more than anything. But I wonder how concerning that sounds, like, out of context. I was like, yeah, it'd be nice to be able to breathe. It used to be worse. We'll get to that. If I do Thousand Year Door, we will get to that, because I would have a story about my inability to breathe, because Thousand Year Door kind of helped me distract me and helped me to help me to get through a really bad, like, breathing spell. So yeah, again, I have a lot of reasons why Thousand Year Door is, like, an extremely influential game, and again, for years, I said it was my favorite game of all time. Like, straight up. Like, no contest. But then it got contested by Xenoblade, because, like, a lot of reasons. Like, I feel like Xenoblade helped me find myself, specifically 2, which is like the funny part. 1 is like the critical darling, I almost feel. Do they really not give you rings? No wonder people hate this. Yeah, Thousand Door is still number 2 for me, which is like, nothing to sneeze at, obviously, but, Xenoblade 3 really hit for me, in a lot of ways, so Xenoblade 3 is my go-to for my new favorite game of all time. Xenoblade 2 is probably top 10, but not my absolute favorite, just because Xenoblade 2 has so much weird shit in it that's just like... This would be really great if we didn't have to, like, deal with all the stuff I don't like. And again, this is coming from someone who still is like, this is in my top 10 games ever. It's like, yeah, no, Xenoblade 2 still has some pretty deep-rooted problems, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. Okay. We have the shield this time, so that's nice. The main problem with this is just drowning. Yeah, I'm gonna, like, wait for the fireball there. I hate this. Okay. We're alive. Yeah, people are always critical of their favorite games, because that's, like, why it's your favorite. It's almost... This is a weird-ass analogy, so please bear with me. But it's like... Being able to critically examine something is actually a good thing. I actually feel this way strongly about gender, of all things. Like, I've been hearing the term cis plus thrown around a lot lately. And I think it's actually very, like, good to be able to actually examine oneself, enough on, like, a deep level to actually, like, decide, hey, maybe I'm just totally cis, kind of, or maybe I'm not cis, but just, I think it's actually healthy to do, like, deep reflection on things. But like, again, this is a weird analogy and might be a bit of a stretch, so I do apologize if this is not landing. But it is a case of like, I feel the same way about like critiquing a lot of things, like just what I like is a case of like, I like going really deep with like analysis of things. Like being able to look at like Xenoblade 2 and it's like, I could do without the titty cam of Pyra sometimes. However, the game might have cracked my egg. So, I still have very fond memories of this game. Maybe that's why I'm bringing it into gender, because Xenoblade 2 is a gender game for me. Again, I don't even know if it cracked my egg or not. The timeline vaguely lines up, but again, I straight up cannot remember what made me initially be like, hey, I might be trans. Like, I literally can't tell you, and it kind of drives me mad a little bit that I can't, I don't have like a fun story to share of like, oh, I was at this time in this place and this was the exact moment where things are starting to come together. It's like, yeah, I don't have that. Yeah, cis plus is a cool concept because, yeah, there's a certain level of reflection that I think is just kind of healthy to do in general. But again, maybe a bit of a reach for what I'm trying to apply it to in this circumstance, but it's okay. So I'm trying to come up with an analogy here. I don't know if it's quite hitting. Yeah, just recently, even before yesterday, it would have made sense after yesterday, but it's like even before yesterday, a couple of people have been able to actually call me Nia, and it's like, it kind of hitting, weirdly, and it's like, why is that hitting? Like, that doesn't make sense a little bit, because I kind of haven't really identified as that name, and yet. Yeah, pat this on. If it hits, it hits, yeah. Yeah, I genuinely think, like, self-reflection is very nice. I've definitely done probably more of it than I should have, but... I'm also not gonna pretend like, oh, I'm just, perfect and don't need to do it, because that's definitely not true, I'm gonna be honest. Just very transparent about that. It's a nice nickname if Nothing else? Yeah, that's true. It's been pitched as a nickname, actually. I'm like, I'm kind of tempted to go for it. To, like, take people up on it. Oh, right, these. Okay. Was that with RPGs in general, the other thing I'm considering is trying to schedule times to do RPGs where, like, friends could be around more and maybe have them help with the reading of dialogue because I will probably perish if I have to read every line out from, like, Thousand Year Door. So I might try to figure out, like, times where I can, like, have friends help out with that if they want to. You have a collab question? Go for it, son. Why is it called a collab if you collab in the cold food, collab out the hot food? When do you want to do that one thing we talked about? Oh no. I mean, when you're free, I guess is the question. Do we want to talk about it now? Or do you want to keep it a secret? Next week, maybe? Yeah, maybe like Thursday. Wednesday or Thursday. If you need someone to read things out, let me know. Yeah, I'll let you know on that. I would probably be free next week, streaming-wise. In terms of like schedule. I mean, I don't really have a particularly concrete schedule anyway. To be fair, okay. But yeah, it's like Monday is kind of the one locked-in day where I'm trying to be very consistent about Monday, but everything else is very fluid at the moment. Again, Thursday almost feels like a decent time, just because it doesn't, like, conflict with, well, it conflicts a little bit with one thing, but, like, Zon, since you have, like, stuff on Thursdays usually anyway, it's like, I don't, you know, miss out on as much time, comparatively, compared to, like, you know, Friday, where it's like, yeah, I could just hang out with you all day. Shit, there we go. Don't even remember how many hits this boss takes. Oh yeah, you have to, like, reinstall OBS. Yeah, basically, because of a dumb joke I made at, like, 3 AM, no, it was actually, like, 3:20 AM. I did a joke thing where it's like, I'm gonna stream this really, like, bad game. If, like, this thing happens, like, if this specific circumstance happens, I will stream this really bad game. And it happened, because of course my luck works that way. But because of that, the topic eventually changed to, hey, what if we do like a race of this game? Like, I don't know if I want to say the name of the game yet, just because it's very silly. I'm having a hell of a time here. Still not done, okay. Well, that works. Middle Seesaw seems like the best one, it's just a matter of if he cooperates. In 4 and 20 year time, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take a stretch break and drink break soon, once we finish Sonic 2, or Sonic 1. We're coming up on the end of Sonic 1. All we have left is Scrap Brain, which I'm gonna try to break a little bit. There's a speedrun trick. I say speedrun trick, it's actually intended, so it's not, like, really a speedrun trick. Does this kill? It doesn't. Okay. Alrighty, so far so good. Yeah, Scrap Brain is really mean. It's a pretty rough zone, but it's the final one, so it should be kinda difficult. Fun fact. I'm waiting with anticipation for this trivia. No one has speedrun that game on GBA? Oh my god. Besides one meme run, oh. Interest. A free world record? Oh my god. Well, I guess that does give a hint that this is a GBA game that has been discussed. And then we talked about a different race idea. Do you feel like that'd be really long to do like multiple games in a row? But I wouldn't be opposed on like separate stream days to just like do a race day occasionally. Cause I legitimately would like to try speedrunning. My only issue is just trying to find a game that one I like, and two, I wouldn't hate speedrunning. Cause like I like Celeste, I don't want to like break my hands trying to speedrun Celeste. So yeah, I keep trying to think of like, what would be a fun game to speedrun? I can never come up with anything. So that's just very awkward. Alright, Scrap Brain Zone. Act 2. I don't think these spin as smoothly on original hardware. I think it's a little bit choppier of an animation. Why am I not jumping in the right direction here? Oh my god. I'll check that in a moment, but I'm very intrigued. Oh shit, that's a dead end. Yeah, I'm trying to always think of stuff. Like, I used to, again, I talked about this a little bit before, but I did like a couple runs of Mario 64 back in the day. Got to like half an hour for 16 star, but I don't really like Mario 64 that much. It's fine, and I respect it, but it's not like a game I have a ton of love for, so like speedrunning it would just kind of wear thin after a bit. That's usually the oh my god I get in response to me being a meanie during stream. Hey, remember the swap note? If I say swap note incident, it's gonna make people think of a very different swap note incident though. You've been meaning to suggest something to do as a collab? Only a foggy idea? I'll keep that in mind. I'm kind of debating getting a Sonic crew together to try to race some of the games. The problem is finding games that everyone likes. Like, I know Amy doesn't really like SA2 very much, so that's a problem. So part of me is like, I wonder if I could suggest like a Heroes race. Yeah, like, that's just kind of how Sonic goes sometimes. It's like, trying to find a Sonic game that Sonic fans can all agree on is not the easiest thing sometimes. I say as a Sonic fan. Ow. I know this is the final area, but god, some of these placements are cheap. Oh, that does retract. Oh. Could do the classics. I mean, you can see how good I am at Sonic 1 right now. And figure out if, like... like... You can, like... Figure out how the competition's gonna do a little bit from this. The answer is not well, but I also don't like Sonic 1 very much. It is in Fox Girls' favorites by association, more so than I love Sonic 1, because I kind of don't. I think Sonic 1 is actually pretty decent for what it is. I just think it's just got first game syndrome. That's all it is. Sonic 2 is an improvement, and Sonic 3 is a vast improvement. Like, it's not even close, in my opinion. Oh wait, this is actually controllable. Yeah, Sonic fans respect Sonic 1. Yeah, that's how I feel, but again, I was saying this about, like, Zelda 2 earlier, where it's like, I respect Zelda 2, but I always feel like I'm in pain whenever I actually play it. So one thing with this act, you can actually skip most of it, if you just go, like, down here. Wait, is that right? Am I losing my mind? Like, is that what you're supposed to do? Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Okay. I was like, wait a minute, is that correct? I forget how this goes. Okay, so yeah, you can basically go down here, skip a bunch of shit, and then not want to scream into the abyss when playing Labyrinth Zone, Act 4. The one time I tried playing the Genesis version, this is where I got walled, because I didn't know about that trick, and I could not get past the stage, like, the other way. Like, straight up, I did not know how to get past it, so I ended up quitting. I don't think I've ever done Labyrinth, like, quote-unquote legit, on that note. I think I've always beaten it with that trick. I keep saying Labyrinth, it's Scrap Brain, but you know what I mean. Just gonna gun it at this point. This is the end. Neat. Okay, so all this stuff, this is the final boss, this one's not... Okay. I forgot that we got launched up here. This boss is interesting. I don't know if I really like it that much, just because it's very, like, simplistic. And also a little bit luck-based, because it's like, it kind of depends on if Eggman wants to be in the right spot or not. You can kind of see him as the platform is descending, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. This is like 6 hits or 8 hits, I think. See, I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm really looking forward to Sonic 2, because I think, other than the special stages, which will be a nightmare, I think Sonic 2 will go a lot smoother. Because, like, Sonic 2 is the game I actually, like, grew up with. More so. Again, I had Mega Collection, I had all the classics, but Sonic 2 is the one I think I put the most time into. At least no Tails. I might do a Tails run, actually. Because Tails is my favorite classic Sonic character. Who could have seen that coming, right? Like, no one could have guessed that. Vaguely gestures at me on screen, like, yeah, I'm sure this is a complete shock to everybody. Shit, okay. We're fine. Mild concern, but we're good. Clearly no inspiration. Can you jump off? Okay, you can't. They block your controls, which is probably good to avoid incidents from people like me who are like, hey, can I just jump off after the ending? I've never seen this before, because I don't think I've ever beat this with Amy. Neat. Amy Rose and Sonic the Hedgehog. This credits medley is great, I will fully say. That was me bumping a tea glass into my microphone. If you heard that, I apologize. So yeah, Sonic 1 is not my favorite. I know it's part of the favorite series, but it's sort of by, you know, wanting to go through all 3 of the classic games for the sake of, like, the complete trilogy, quote unquote. Again, we're skipping CD, probably. Sorry, CD. Maybe we'll loop back around to you with Gems Collection. Like, hypothetically, I could do Gems Collection, but I don't have as much love for any of those games. I kind of enjoy... I like R, and I like... Shit, what's the other game? Fighters? Yeah, I like both those games well enough. I actually probably like them more than most of the fanbase, to be honest. However, I don't think I like them enough to include them in the series. That's the thing, it's like 50 games, most of them are RPGs. I should probably not stack this too big. At least that's my feeling right now. It's like, I probably shouldn't go too ham with this. Be a little, like... smart with this and not just overload with a crap ton of games that'll take me 5 years to finish. Yeah, this game is good, I think. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's decent. It's a decent starting point, is how I will describe Sonic 1. It's not like my favorite by any means, but it is just decently enjoyable. Probably use a version that either has like the save states from like different collections or like retry functionality like this one, because actually just playing in vanilla is not the most enjoyable experience. You get this cutscene even if you don't get the emeralds, by the way, which is kind of an oversight. An oversight in Sonic Origins, who could have seen that coming? And suddenly there's a 7th emerald for some reason. They're going to South Island, but weirdly enough, like, the next game in this collection is CD, so that's a little bit awkward, if you're going in, like, order. But actually, if you skip CD, like, it doesn't feel like you're missing out on too much, truth be told. Just because of how the cutscenes are structured. So yeah, we're gonna tackle Sonic 2 next. So, again, too bad for Sonic CD, maybe someday. Oh no. What is this? Oh, that's wholesome. Why play Sonic CD when you can have fun? Ouch. You can be wholesome. Yeah, I know you can be wholesome, Son. I just was like, I saw the pop-up and I'm like, oh no. What am I gonna have to react to live on stream? Listen, I can play it cool. However, it's funnier if I don't play it cool, so I don't bother that much. That is, like, actually the reasoning for why sometimes it'll be like, oh no, to things. Because, yeah. It's somewhat genuine, admittedly, but also a little bit for the content. But yeah, I'm gonna go like stretch a bit, and then we'll come back and play through Sonic 2. I'm gonna run ads too, because I might as well, right? I'm actually realizing a problem right now, where for some reason it's not actually showing the ad timer. I assume it's wrapping up soon, but it doesn't actually say, because I turned off the ad manager. So it's very awkward. Twitch is a very unique platform sometimes. Ad break. Oh well, at least Sarybot's got my back. If Twitch don't got me, at least Sarybot is there for me. So yeah, we're gonna hop to it then. Sorry, Origami King. Yeah, banger soundtrack, at least. Okay, I need to actually, like, reposition, I think. My model wasn't in the best spot for last time, so I'm gonna try to, like, adjust a smidge to hopefully not drift as much into the game frame. So the problem with having big ass ears is sometimes they kind of clip around. Alrighty, we are back and we are about to start Sonic 2. Once again in Anniversary Mode. That tutorial prompt was basically saying, hey, you can enter special stages through checkpoints instead of through end of stage rings. So this is actually really cool in my opinion. This is basically like an adaptation, a very truncated adaptation of the manual plot of Sonic 2. Sonic saves Tails from bullies, he ends up sort of becoming enamored with Sonic. The other funny part is this is actually not the first time this has been depicted in the game, of like, oh my god, Tails is, you know, enamored with Sonic. Another time would have been Sonic Adventure, which is very awkwardly set in the Mystic Ruins, if I recall correctly. But hey, Sonic 2 time. I guess this time we're gonna mix it up, I think. I want to play at... Oh, you can play as Amy and Tails, that's cool. We're gonna play as Tails, because, significance. Again, this is Fox Girl's favorites, so, hey, we should do a run of part of the reason I love this game so much, which is Tails. Yeah, they do actually include all the different combos for everybody, and there are cheat codes to actually enable the combos in, like, Sonic 1, though I do recall there being issues with some of the combos. Like, not the combos, but like some of the debug features being a little wonky and causing issues in some of the games. Again, like, activating the 7th Chaos Emerald for Sonic 1 can cause problems. Still no Knuckles and Knuckles? Unfortunately, no. That's only in Mania. I don't know if Mania would count for the series now that I'm thinking about it. The other potential problem I'm having is life sims. That is the other big issue I'm having with planning Fox Girls favorites at the moment, because life sims would count in some cases. How the hell do I stream a life sim? I hate how smooth this is. I know it's, you know, objectively better. It is so trippy. It's like actively uncanny seeing these special stages like running smoothly. But the Sonic 2 special stages are the infamous half-pipe. I like the half-pipe. It's a lot of nostalgia. Yards. I don't know what that means, but I think I can gather from context clues. Yeah, motion sickness warning. I should have said that sooner. I should have said that for Sonic 1 special stages. But yeah, these can be a lot to take in. My advice is just, I'm kind of looking down the center, mostly the gauge ring placements, but I'm actually not really paying attention to the background very much, partly from my own head spinning. Well, my head's spinning. What a wild ride. I can just whip out Sonic Heroes quotes at a whim, because I've played that game enough that they were just embedded into my DNA at this point. I think the Knuckles actor did confirm recently that he straight up was saying shit in the recording of Sonic Heroes. Jumping. You have Amy saying, "Oh my god," which confirms the existence of the Christian deity in the Sonic universe. For legal purposes, this is a joke. Hey, so correct me if I'm wrong, but do you actually keep your rings after a special stage in original Sonic 2? Because I thought they restored you to like they took 50 rings from you basically, but I can't remember if that's right, not an OG, gotcha. The funny part is there's like a crap ton of checkpoints in just this first level. You can straight up get all the Chaos Emeralds in like just Emerald Hill, if you know where you're going. Hey, guess who doesn't know where I'm going though? So, I'm not making any promises of that. Though I definitely think I've missed a few checkpoints, along the way. I love Emerald Hill's song, it's very fun. You know, if I was smart and didn't, like, horribly rush to get the stream started, I would have looked up, checkpoint placements for Sonic 2. Guess who was not thinking ahead? This gal. Number 2, let's see. The other interesting thing about Sonic 2 that I can think of is this, like Sonic 1, was a game I did... Ooh, this one's a lot. The stage is a lot to process. But, like Sonic 1, I never beat this game as a kid. It is hard as hell towards the end. I never even got to the final boss legit. Like, Kid Me would not have enjoyed that, I can guarantee it. Kid Me didn't even like Oil Ocean. You know, it's actually really hard to talk while playing these special stages, as it turns out. But, I definitely did like this game quite a lot. I have a lot of nostalgia. This is the one I probably played the most, even though I never finished it, just because I love Tails. Tails is a very good character, he's a good boy. Shit. That's a problem. That's a bigger problem. Oh, so we have to just fail to actually restart. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, Death Egg sucks. I am going to make a bet that I can beat Death Egg within, like, 5 tries. I'm feeling confident today. This totally won't bite me in the ass. But yeah, I never actually finished Sonic 2 as a kid. The first time I beat Sonic 2, technically, would have been, with save states, for starters. But actually, right, it was literally the night that Sonic Mania came out. So fun story, Sonic Mania was not a midnight release on Switch. I think it was on PS4, unfortunately. But I'm pretty sure, like, my family was planning a trip to see friends, like, that August. So I ended up wanting the Switch version. I don't know if that was actually part of my consideration or not, to be fair. But because Sonic Mania was not a midnight release, it was actually like 9 AM the next morning, or something like that, like noon Eastern, I ended up just playing Sonic 2, and ended up finishing it. We already have enough rings, and we just started this, so we are doing significantly better than last time. It's almost like memorization helps, which is a problem when you only get one shot in the original versions of these. A lot of these later special stages, and 2 specifically, will take a couple tries, like 1 to kind of gauge everything, and 1 to actually get the emerald. But yeah, I'm feeling more confident in Sonic 2 than Sonic 1 for sure. Sonic 3 is actually just a pretty reasonable game, I'd say. Yes, I am going backwards, because I'm being greedy. I'm like, what if I get more Chaos Emeralds? Or at least look for more Chaos Emeralds, because I swear I've missed a checkpoint somewhere. Also, like, Chemical Plant's really weird. It's so short, I don't even know where the checkpoint is in, like, Chemical Plant Act 1. I don't think I've ever seen it. Oh wait, there's one. Wait, shit, we got that one. Sonic games aren't really designed for you to go backwards in them, I'm learning. Now that we don't have a 10-minute timer in this version, I also don't feel as, like, stressed about, like, oh no, we're gonna die. It's like, no, we're fine. You know, I said like 1 checkpoint in Act 1, yeah, that tracks. Again, I don't think I've even seen that checkpoint for, like, ages. I can't remember the last time I've seen that checkpoint. Okay, that's the other one we got already. We're coming up at the start of the stage soon. At least I'm pretty sure we are. Okay. I want to say there's some on the lower path. God, we have 200 rings. Did they auto-activate? No, I'm pretty sure those were just the 2 we had found already. Because I did take the upper path, so I'm gonna take the lower path this time. See if that helps. Okay, I'm playing this like Sonic CD anyway, ironically. I may just be losing my mind, in all fairness. I may be completely misremembering where everything is. In which case, I'm just like wasting a lot of time. But again, it'll save time in the long run if we don't have to worry about the Chaos Emeralds, especially if we have Supersonic. I think the rings actually respawn too. Again, I might just be overthinking. Like, straight up. This is the end of the stage. Shit, they locked us in. Oh well, we only have 262 rings. Now, if only they carried over to the next act. That would be nice. But this game isn't that nice. Hey, 2 out of 7 ain't bad. Free continue, not that we have lives, because we're playing anniversary mode. Yeah, not bad. Again, like, the level of comfortability with Sonic 2 is significantly higher than Sonic, 1. Also getting to play as Tails is nice. I don't think Tails can fly in OG Sonic 2. He was just kind of like a reskin of Sonic in that one. That was added for 3 onwards. Actually, if you want to be like really like pedantic, I suppose, the first game where Tails could fly is, I think, Sonic Chaos. But it's like weird, it doesn't control the same way. You have to like press up, you have to hold up and then press jump. So it's like really awkward. I've actually never 100%ed Chaos. I don't remember how to get the Chaos Emeralds in that one, I'll be honest. Yeah, Tails can't mid-air fly in Chaos. Okay. Secret in the water. Ah, don't like that. It is really funny playing Sonic games this slow. We won't have to do that for Sonic 3 at least, because that's like, oh, these are fixed locations, and it's just a matter of finding them. So we can actually pick up the pace a little bit more in that game. Special stages are only with Sonic. Oh, well that explains a lot, actually. Listen, I like Sonic, I usually prefer playing Tails. Maybe because I have the younger sibling energy. Just like, naturally. Alright, we lived. For now. Alright, this little like spiral pattern. Neat. 110. That is a significant increase. Okay. We're good. Just gotta play jump rope with armed mines. Just normal Sonic behavior. Don't like that jump. Okay. We're good. Insta-shield defender? True. Drop dash also. I think I like the drop dash more. Like, truth be told. Okay. Yeah, why am I so stressed, actually? I can retry this. I have 100 medallions. I do not have to worry about, like, resets. And yet, I just want to be a show-off, I guess. I want to be cool. I want to impress my friends by being good at Sonic 2. This is my riz of just being really good at Sonic games. Yeah, I actually feel like the drop dash is inherently bad in a lot of the games. The biggest offender in my opinion is Generations. 3D specifically. It actually got me killed so many times. I wish it was a skill, and I've seen that sentiment echoed elsewhere, of wishing the drop dash was a skill in gens for modern Sonic, just because of just how unwieldy it is, like just accidentally activating it and dying over and over again. That's shield. The other advantage of playing Tails, obviously, is you can fly. So you can just kind of scope out the area a lot more. You made a skill for classic and not modern? I actually don't know if I... Shit. I don't know if I knew that, actually. That's really aggravating. Oh, that's a problem. Just gonna fly over that one. Yeah, I'm basically... Yeah, I'm playing this like Sonic CD, ironically. Yeah, if I'd gotten the invincibility, that would've been smart. But, hey, guess who doesn't always make good life choices? How the hell do you get that stuff? That's what I'm trying to figure out now, is to get to that lower path. Or is it just a case of, like... Shit. Yeah, I have no clue how to get over there. Truth be told. I want to say, if you restart levels, you actually keep all your rings, or you keep all your Chaos Emeralds, so you can actually just use that to farm Chaos Emeralds really easily for Origins. But I'm not as concerned about the Emeralds for this game, just because I'm, again, a little bit more confident in 2 than Sonic 1. Don't like you, though. Oh wow, that's a lot of rings up there. I'm just gonna go back to the start of the level casually. No big deal. Yeah, if they're gonna respawn all the rings, I'm gonna take advantage of that. Wait, I wanna go lower path, right? Alright, that goes to the same place. Oops. Alright. Yeah, I've complained about Sonic Generations quite a bit lately, but again, I actually had the bizarre experience of, like, both because the changes they made, I think a lot of them weren't good, and also because, relative scaling, I actually think Sonic Generations dropped considerably in my viewpoint because of the collection. Like, I had so many weird clips in, like, clips through walls in the remaster of Generations that I never saw in the original. Like, there's that one part of classic Crisis City where you, like, go up a ramp and then the camera kind of loops around this, like, building. Not loops, but, like, you go up a ramp and then you go, like, around a building. But, like, going up that ramp killed me a bunch of times. Like, 3 or 4 times. Hi, Esper. Yeah, the Steam port also has a fair amount of weird quirks to it. Shadow Generations is still very good though. Again, I didn't quite scratch an itch for me, unfortunately, as much as it did for other people. And I'm happy that for those who did get what they wanted out of the franchise, basically, with Shadow Gens, but it didn't quite land for me as much as I had hoped it would. But it's still like 8 out of 10, you know, a really good Sonic experience. That's like my weird, like, quirk with Sonic especially, is I can recognize, like, yeah, this game's really good, or this game's really not good. But I kind of separate that from my personal viewpoint a lot of times. Yeah, you're comparing it the whole time, yeah, same. The weird part is Shadow Generations is a lot slower, but you have more control, so they just actually use that well for platforming. It fixed my issue with Sonic, Frontiers, where it's basically like cyberspace. Like, Shadow to me, other than being able to boost through enemies, he kind of doesn't play that differently from cyberspace Sonic in Frontiers. However, the stages in Shadow Generations were built around being slower. like homing attack delay and just all the weird quirks of Frontiers, the stages were built around that. So it didn't feel as bad as like replaying a Generations level with really bad physics, which is basically what Cyberspace was. It's like, if this is tailor-made for these physics, I have no objection. If you're trying to cram this into a game with totally different physics, I'm gonna have a problem with that. A standalone game for Metal Sonic would be cool, and how do I talk about this? I'm not entirely sure how I want to talk about this, actually, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, is what I'm going to say. I think there is actually a decent chance of getting a Metal Sonic game, or something with Metal Sonic, like, relatively soon. That's just kind of my gut check. Like, overall, I think. It's like, I have my reasons for saying that, but I don't really want to disclose those reasons. Yes, the Fanta special stage. Can you make him an actual character? Yeah. Like, how the hell was Metal Sonic's last, like, major appearance, like, rivals? No, that's not true. Free Riders! How could I have forgotten? Answer: very easily. That game's plot is kinda garbage. I love Riders. Free Riders, even without the motion controls, still has a lot of fundamental issues just because the story is so poor. IMO. Like, just the way it's told, it's like, to me, Sonic Riders is a series that always stood out to me because of how much style it had. So Sonic Free Riders' story being told through, like, PNGs and text boxes just kind of felt not good to me. So yeah, even if it wasn't a Kinect game, I don't think I would have good views of Sonic Free Riders from a story perspective, at least. I'm expecting a trap at the end here, like a bomb row. Never mind, we're good. Yeah, it feels like... Wait. Metal was in TSR, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't think it was, like, major in TSR, but I'm pretty sure he was in that. Because there was him, Zavok, and Eggman as a team, I think. Oh, wow, why are these two right next to each other? I don't know, but I'll take it. Works for me. Is this the one that sucks? Realizing that doesn't narrow it down at all. Yeah. Metal Sonic feels like such a missed opportunity, really. It's like there's so much you could do with that concept and they just kind of gave up after a while. My other Metal Sonic take is I kind of just wish, like, Sonic games in general had more playable characters. Like, straight up. Like, we're getting there, but like, Shadow was just, you know, Sonic with slight animation tweaks if we're gonna be, like, somewhat snippy about it. Like, you know, Frontiers actually had significantly different character movesets for the DLC. I didn't like them, but it was interesting having those. Amy was fine, it's just Tails was not great, Knuckles was real bad pre-patch. But like, the idea of like Sonic's friends finally being able to play again, being playable again was tantalizing. Wouldn't mind if they transed Metal's gender. I mean, Sonic Superstars did have like the Metal Amy option for like the multiplayer that no one ever played. Superstars upsets me, I'm not gonna lie. Not just because I don't like it, because it's BS difficulty, but also just because of like how poorly handled like marketing was. Like releasing it the same day as like Mario Wonder and like Spider-Man 2 was like, what are y'all doing? Like, are you for real? Like you're gonna release these on the same day and then complain, wow, no one bought your game. And they straight up did that at one point. Like there was some like investor thing where they were talking about like, yeah, Sonic Superstars underperformed. It's like, yeah, no shit. You released it next to two of the biggest games of the year. What did you think was going to happen? The lack of awareness was the thing that was just like, alright, that's... I don't understand why they didn't think that they would be clobbered by both of these games, but apparently they didn't see that coming. Plus also, Sonic games always go on really steep Black Friday sales, so like Superstars was down to like, from like 60 to 40 in like a month. Hell, I legitimately stopped buying Sonic games if they had October release dates at launch, because I know they're gonna be on the Black Friday sale. So like, I got Generations like a month late for like $30. It's like, what the hell? Why is this game $30 already? I thought it would go down to 40 for Black Friday. It went all the way down to 30. I'm like, for that much, hell yeah, I can't complain. But like, Sonic just has this problem, and it's like, that's why as much as I don't like how Nintendo games never go down in price, is why I understand why they are so cagey about dropping prices of like games or discounts, because so many other companies have kind of conditioned consumers to just be like, it'll be on sale really fast, I can wait on it. So it's like, I get why Nintendo waits a very long time, and even at that, will do a very small sale at best. Again, it's very frustrating, but it's like, I kind of understand their logic when I apply that logic to other companies and don't buy games day one because of it. Like, Ubisoft is obviously one of the worst, because like... Oh look, Assassin's Creed. You know, in a few months, the new Assassin's Creed that just came out, like, in February, is probably gonna be, like, $30, $20, something like that. So it's like, I don't buy Assassin's Creed games, well, period, at the moment. But, like, you know, if I was still buying Assassin's Creed games, it would not be day one, just because I know these games are gonna go down in price. And I feel really bad for, like, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, because I fully admit I'm part of the problem. Because, like, that game underperformed really badly. Yeah, Nintendo is pushing their luck in a lot of ways. Which is... It's a complicated topic that I don't really want to get into, admittedly, because of all the different aspects of that. But yeah, I get what you mean. Again, if there's any kind of post-launch, and if it's like free updates, which I'm surprised the Direct didn't confirm, I think that would help. But again, if they roll out a season pass for the game, it's gonna be like really not good. My theory currently is the Switch 2 drops June 5, right? So like, that's E3 timeframe. Quote-unquote E3. I always say E3, I know it's like Summer Games Fest, I don't want to call it that, I'm gonna be real. I just prefer saying E3, because I am a creature of habit. But I do feel like some of the launch details of Switch 2 being so slim is sort of levied by that aspect that we're hitting June, there's probably gonna be stuff announced in that month. Whether it's through Chaff or through other sources. Yeah, ESA is doing something, and it's like, I feel like the ESA has lost so much goodwill, I can't really care, if I'm gonna be honest. For a lot of reasons. Yeah, Veilguard, and like, Suicide Squad, and all this stuff where it's like... Oh wow. This game is $5 now, and it came out like 5 months ago. Why would I buy this game for $70? Veilguard makes me sad because of reasons that I don't know if I should get into this while playing a Sonic 2 special stage, if I'm being real. But just like, you know, the valid reasons to dislike a game like Dragon Age Veilguard, and then the not valid reasons, which end up being the reasons that end up getting all the oxygen in the room. So yeah, that's just been my recurring frustration with a lot of games lately, is just people using games as like getting mad over like having pronoun options in games. It's happening with like the Oblivion remake having like different classifications instead of like male female. There's the selection is like option 1 or option 2, and a bunch of people are melting down about it, and it's like that is the least of this Oblivion remake's problems from everything I've heard about it. It's apparently very glitchy from everything I've heard. So this special stage is interesting because it's mostly designed to just give you a lot of rings at the start and then try to take them away from you. Like, ow. I'm pretty sure we won't be seeing like any more rings for a bit. Never mind. I am eating my words. Yeah, Veilguard was like under 6 months. It was already on PS Plus. It's like, what the hell happened there? And like, the funny part with Veilguard is the same thing that pisses me off about Warner Bros. I know I'm gonna need to be more specific, but one moment. With Mortal Kombat 1, where it's like, oh, this game undersold because it only sold 3 million copies. It's like, I'm sorry, what? This game sold only 3 million copies. It's like, that's the lifetime sales of Guilty Gear Strive. And Warner Bros. Is like, well, guess we're pulling support on MK1 because no one wants this game, apparently. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, anyway, Sonic. We have all the Chaos Emeralds. We can't go Super though, because that's a Sonic thing. Tails needs the Super Emeralds to actually go Super in this game. Or in Sonic 3 specifically, so hey, getting the Chaos Emeralds kind of doesn't do anything other than give us the better ending. So I'm really having this realization of like, why did I go to all that effort to get the Emeralds? Yeah, and it's like Warner Bros. Having absurd standards because of the game that shall not be named, where they're just like, oh, well, this game underperformed compared to that game. It's like that game sold out of really crappy reasons, like spite, to be honest. That sucked. So yeah, it's like... It's really wild just how the industry has gotten really bad recently. Obviously, it's like, yeah, it's for indies. It's kind of my recurring sentiment, but even indies aren't immune from a lot of issues lately, which is upsetting. Like, I want to say like Penny's Big Breakaway, like the developer of that ended up having to lay people off, and it's like even indie games are having issues with like sales and such. It's really like not a great time for the industry, but again, that's a whole other conversation where it's like, maybe I shouldn't be having this right now. As I'm drowning over and over again in Sonic 2. Yeah, in 6th gen, they did the greatest hits lines, all the consoles did them. Last greatest hits line would have been Nintendo Selects and for the PS, or for the 3DS, I think, and Wii, and maybe Wii U. But like, we never got like a greatest hits line for PS4. In actuality, PS4 games went up in price because they discounted them, and then we're like, oh wait, if we're offering like The Last of Us with a $10 upgrade, and we've cut The Last of Us Part 1 down to like, or Part 2 down to like $10, or like $20, people could just buy the whole thing for $30 if they just do the upgrade path. So they put it back up at $60, so they could charge it at $70 digital, basically. So yeah, this kind of reverse like curve we're having, where it's like games are actually going up in price. It's like the PS5 just got a price raise in a lot of countries, not in America, which is also bothering me, because it's like, why is the rest of the world like taking a hit on this when really they can probably stand to raise the price here instead of like raising it 2 times in like the span of 2 years in Canada, for example. But that's a whole other topic. Again, I don't know why Sonic 2 is the game where I'm on a soapbox today, but I'm also just kind of having that kind of day where I'm just kind of fired up about a lot of things, in all fairness. So that's part of the reason why I'm very feisty and opinionated at the moment, is just kind of how I've been feeling all day. Oh yeah, Tails can swim, which is really nice. One fun thing in Sonic 2 is this is basically the only water level. It's actually refreshing, not having to worry about that. And even then, a lot of indies are having trouble, I feel, with like I know there were issues with like Earthblade, which kind of is heartbreaking to me because I was really looking forward to that. It's like Mina the Hollower has kind of dropped off the face of the planet as far as I can tell. It's Yacht Club. I know Shovel Knight took forever, so I'm not worried about the game. I'd like to have an update on it. I keep hoping we'll see it in a trailer someday, but it's just kind of vanished. Remember when I thought I could beat these games in like an hour each? Yeah, about that. We're at 2 hours already. Yeah, I am in a weird mode with Silksong. I've never played the original Hollow Knight, which is part of the reason I'm in a weird mood about it, but certain games, like Silksong, take all the oxygen out of the room at like events. Like whenever there's an event, and they make the horrible, horrible mistake of leaving a live chat up, because a lot of them now just disable chat, which is a very good call. A lot of it's just people in chat spamming Where's Silksong? And this has been like this for like 4 years now, and it's just like, it'll be ready when it's ready. Like, I don't want Silksong to be a sports story. I want it to be good, even though I haven't played Hollow Knight 1 in its entirety. I don't want that for that fanbase, and I feel like the fans shouldn't want it for themselves either. It's like they should want the TLC given to this game that it needs, because if it's just a broken mess, then the game is forever kind of tainted. Like, again, Sports Story is the obvious one. There was so much hype going into that game, and then it was like so bad from what I heard, like broken. Also like a dev room with like a cry for help or something. Like there was a secret dev room in Sports Story where they're like, and people can tell if it was like satire of like crunch, or like the developers are actually like, yeah, a cry for help basically. So yeah, it's a very complicated situation through and through. In general, I have fallen really behind indie games. Yeah, you can get it early, but then it's No Man's Sky as an extreme example. Like, No Man's Sky is amazing to me. I have no horse in this race. Like, I never played it, period. But it is a case of I am happy they turned it around, because frankly a lot of companies don't get that opportunity to turn things around, as we have seen with a lot of the layoffs in the industry. Like No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk 2077, to a lesser extent I think, because I think that game had a better foundation, to be honest. It was just kind of like buggy. No Man's Sky was the issue of like ambition, and also just like deceptive marketing even, where it's like, oh, that is not how the game actually works. But now it kind of is, from what I gather. Like, they kind of achieved the original vision finally. Yeah, it's really cool, in my opinion. Again, as someone who has never played the original, you know, FF14 is the other really big one. Going from 1.0 to ARR is like, what the hell happened there? You not found an inclination to buy new games and instead try to work through your backlog, which is due to your ADHD meds. Yeah, that would definitely help with that. I'm still kind of struggling with that, though I'm also not on ADHD meds. As I'm currently like, okay, but what if I play Claire Obscure? What if I play that instead of like the 600 unfinished games I have, though a lot of them are just like NSO stuff that's free. Now, what if I play, like, pick up Claire Obscure instead of finishing the 4 Fire Emblems I've never actually finished? Because it's Echoes, Conquest, Revelation, and Colgate, Engage. New purchases are mainly multiplayer focused. The main thing with Clair Obscure is people are really bad about spoilers. I've already seen things that are like, wow, neat. Wish I hadn't seen that right away. Not that I'm like overly concerned about spoilers, to be fair. I ended up looking up a synopsis at a point. But obviously that does not carry the emotional weight of the actual storytelling, so I usually also, I didn't quite understand it without context. You could play all the shiny new stuff, or instead choose to play Gotcha Force. I don't... Yeah, allergy day. I don't know anything about Gotcha Force other than it's bloody expensive. That's like literally all I ever knew about that game. Like, it's one of the rarest GameCube games. Again, that would be a huge, huge get for NSO, to be honest. I'm trying to think of third-party offerings on NSO platforms. What the hell? You can actually go through that platform. Okay. Live and learn. I did not know that happened. At least the platform is easy to respawn. There we go. I'm actually kind of debating what to do with my GameCube collection in general. I kind of had the thought, like, maybe I should just offload some of these games. Like, some of these games are actually going down in price. Like, Path of Radiance is... This is gonna sound very silly. Path of Radiance is only $200 now on, like, eBay. I know, only $200, but, like, it was going for, like, over $3 for a while. Like, you know... You can buy a Switch too by selling a copy of Path of Radiance before the price went back down to a slightly less absurd level. Like, you know, XD is another one that's pretty expensive. Like, Air Ride is still expensive, but as soon as that's announced for NSO, I'm sure that'll help a bit. Yeah, I think the E3 time period is going to be very interesting this year, just because I don't actually know what's happening this year, because no one wants to announce something with GTA 6 looming. In a way, it actually bothers me, because it's like, GTA 6 is this, like, it's been put on such a pedestal, it cannot possibly live up to expectations, is my feeling. At least that's my, like, the way my brain goes. But they might, you know, I'm not saying it's impossible, you know, in a literal sense, but it's like Half-Life 3 for me, where it's like, if Half-Life 3 ever happens, how the hell will it ever live up to expectations? See, my take on Grand Theft Auto 6 is it won't be like $100 inherently. It'll be like $70, but come with like a $30 deluxe edition that has like money for GT Online and just a bunch of other goodies. So it's like, to me with Nintendo, the $80 price tag is like funny to me in a way, because games have been $80 for a really long time, just not optionally, or they've just been optional up until now. That's like my bizarre take on Mario Kart 8, or Mario Kart World, is like, every PlayStation game has like a $10 digital deluxe upgrade, so that would make it $80. Like, or for the new ones at least, and they just have like little armor and stuff that's not like essential, like you can easily skip out on it. Conversely, story DLC inherently is like, oh well, if you want the ending of this game, you have to pay us $20 more. So it's kind of like, you're still paying like over like $60 if you want the full experience. The other inherent problem is like 1, gradual, 2, price drops, 3, what am I trying to say? Basically, like, with DLC at least, you know, you can pay $60 for the game up front, and then, oh, the DLC's out in 2 years, or 1 year. Like, I think Reload's a good example, where it's like, Reload's DLC was like $40 or something, the game's over $100. Like, it's already over $100 if you want the answer. They just split it up to make it feel less bad, but it still feels kind of bad paying $30 for the answer. I say as I actually haven't bought the DLC for that. I own Persona 3 Reload because it was like 25 bucks for a while. Again, an example of why would I buy this game at launch? Persona games usually go down in price pretty fast. Metaphor, on the other hand, I think is selling really well. Yeah, and fighting games, that's the whole thing. For me, I've really fallen out of like getting into other fighting games. I'm just kind of sticking with the ones I'm already invested in, and that is Strive. Like, straight up. Like, I admittedly am tempted by the collection coming out next month. The CVS one. People are talking already about like, what are the odds of the CVS collection outselling City of the Wolves because of just how much that game dropped the ball? Which is like kind of depressing to actually think about. Because I know people were really excited for City of the Wolves, but then everything went south for for their marketing. So, at least I think it's Southtown where that's set. Otherwise, that pun would not go over well. I don't think KOF had, like, I think KOF, like, okay, so Steam tracks, like, you know, all-time peak player count. Like, I want to say 15s was like 8,000 people when the game came out. But, like, Sea of the Wolves is, like, 3,500 to 4,000. Like people say, it's like, it's mostly just like the ownership of SNK, and like with 15, you could kind of tune it out a bit, but because of the decisions made for Fatal Fury, the ownership of SNK is front and centered. It's unavoidable, and because of that, that's part of the reason why it is raising more of a stink this time, and also the specific way that you can tell the ownership. At least Metal Slug Tactics, I think, was outsourced to .mu. So I want to say they even like published it. Like I don't think it was published by SNK. It was just like loaned out to them. So like Metal Slug Tactics is like an interesting case, and I'm not quite sure where that would fall, but I'd have to double check on that. Sonic 2 is just the Yuna talks about really heavy topics game, apparently. I don't know how to feel about that. Yeah, like, people are trying to put it into perspective that Guilty Gear Strive came out July or August 2021. Its current player numbers are like only 500 to 1,000 behind Sea of the Wolves that just came out last week. Like, that's to put things into perspective of like just how bad this game is doing. And it's like, you know, there's the argument that could be made of, oh, what if everyone's just playing on console? And it's like, that is true, because crossplay. People might just be playing on PS5 or Xbox. But it is a case of like, things aren't looking great for this game either way. That's a good question. I'd have to look up Tekken 8, because that'd be an interesting battle there. Like, if I'm eyeing any fighting game right now, it's Grand Blue Rising. Because I've heard really good things about it. I know there's a free-to-play version, but the character I'd want to play is not usually in rotation. So, yeah, I'd probably end up getting the full version at some point. Cheap, hopefully. Hey, if you see me falling down to a lot of pits in this level, I know what I'm doing. Please trust me. Because there is a secret in one of the pits in this stage. How if I know where? Yeah, SF6 is doing pretty good for itself. The main issue I have heard about SF6 is it's just kind of stale, because it's actually been more conservative with balance updates than like every other fighting game at the moment. Like, Season 4 of Strive definitely was very explosive, and there were definitely cases where it's like... They say one thing, but I feel like this change to the patch makes it feel like the design ethos that they're stating is at odds with what they actually did in the patch. I mean, that was like, take that problem and then multiply it by like 20, and you get the Tekken 8 patch. This one. Yeah. If you fall down the pit of death in this level, that normally is just like a soft lock, essentially, if you're supersonic. So it's rather notorious, but they actually put Hidden Palace behind that, which is really cool in my opinion. I mean, like, my bizarre take in a way is like, Akuma should be a little bit busted as a treat. Like, he's Akuma. Like, Akuma, Bison, like, those characters being broken, it's like, yeah, no, it's not fun to fight against them, but at least it's like, you know, lore accurate in a way. I genuinely need to give World Tour another chance. And just actually try to learn a Street Fighter. I mean, Alpha 3 Uppers on that collection, so maybe I'll give that a shot. So yeah, that's kind of my overall take on that, where it's like... SF6 took away his fragile health. Ooh, so he's not a glass cannon, he's just a cannon. Okay, that makes sense. There's no risk versus reward. That's kind of my issue with Dizzy at the moment, is like, I feel like she hits really hard, but doesn't really combo into much. Strive in general is like a weird game because its combo routes are very short, but deal a lot of damage, but it still kind of has the problem of like, well, might as well just go and make a sandwich because I'm just gonna be comboed for like 10 minutes now. So it feels like I was trying to resolve a problem and didn't quite get there. Yeah, Akuma with a lot of health is horrifying. Nothing could possibly go wrong with that. But again, I think they were pretty fast on the ball with patching that. And SF6 has been very, like, yeah, chill with patches. They have not done anything too big, but with Elena, I think they said they were going to start doing major balance adjustments in their own words. So I'm really wondering what they mean by that. People are kind of like already predicting this will be like the Super Street Fighter era for SF6. So this boss is funny. You're supposed to use the mines to launch yourself up to Robotnik. You can just fly into him, like, as Tails. Like, you can just completely cheese this fight. Monster's just playing bad, so... There we go. Yeah, I hope Elena's broken, just for the sake of tradition. See, like, for me, Dizzy should be stronger in the game, but she's actually, like, bottom tier at the moment. She used to be top tier in, like, every game. Like, Accent Core, she's really high tier. XR Rev, she's really high tier. It's like, this is kind of unusual that Dizzy's, like, pretty close to the bottom, like, universally believed. Generally, the stuff I've seen is that Dizzy's normals are just not good, even though her specials are pretty decent. So, everyone keeps hoping for a patch, basically. That kind of improves some things for her. I enjoy playing as Dizzy, but I also have strong character bias, I fully admit. Random is really cool, I just don't know how to micromanage, like, characters like that. You know, the other one is obviously, like, Chaco. But, like, trying to do, like, positioning for everything is just a lot for me to keep track of, so I tend to, like, not do set play characters, or not enjoy set play characters as much. I saw a video talking about Lars in Tekken 8. The patch gave him a move. They changed the move to be like plus 27 or something on like block, and it's like, what the hell are you doing, guys? Then with the emergency patch, it's down to like plus 9, which is like, why did they think like plus 27 was a good idea? I just don't understand the like reasoning behind that. like... That's just absurd at a point. Season 2 of T7 did something almost exactly like it? Oh, I did not know that. Tekken 7 is such a fascinating game because the original arcade release was so bare bones. Like, it basically was just versus. And then later on, like, we got the console version, they just gradually started adding stuff onto it to the point where it's like one of the best Tekken games. If it wasn't for the kind of like wonky early rollback implementation. I actually don't know if it's rollback or not. Or if it's just like delay based, but also still not good. I know Tekken 8 has a version of rollback at least, which is, you know, better. Lars had the best 12 frame move in the game. They patched it quick. Yeah, just 12 frames. That somehow seems reasonable compared to this latest fiasco. But yeah, in general, I think with fighting games, my level of focus is struggling to the point where I like spent so much time learning Dizzy and Strive to the point where like, you know, I got 2 rounds in last time I picked it on Claire's stream, and like, you know, I got a round off of her, which was like, or a game off of her actually, and that was like a really good feeling in a way, because like, I know, you know, the previous time I threw down a gauntlet like that, I got absolutely obliterated. So like, it genuinely felt nice to be able to kind of hold my own a bit. Even if it was also partially because 1, she was mixing up inputs because she was playing Mortal Kombat, and 2, also had never fought Dizzy before in this game. So, I mean, I have some reasons of partially of how I probably did a little bit better. But it's a case of like, you know, trying to learn Dizzy, I think I have fundamentally gotten better at Strive. Same happened with Smash. Again, I've told this story like 5 times on the stream already, but I didn't put much time and effort into Ultimate, or any Smash Bros for that matter, except Brawl, because it had the most single-player content. So, the biggest time the most I ever really dedicated to Smash, like, on a competitive level, would have been Pyramid Mythos release. I spent a lot of time trying to learn them, like, legitimately get good with them. That's kind of my big problem with Smash, potentially getting a new game. 1, I'm very happy, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even like... What am I trying to say? I'm very glad that Sakurai's not working on Smash right away, I'm not even gonna lie. Because I was not looking forward to Smash Discourse. I personally find the constant debating of what characters should make it in extremely frustrating. Ah, I forgot it fired twice, 3 times, okay. Fun. What happened? Did I just not mash enough? I think I looked away because I just got a ping. And I got distracted. Actually, does Injustice have a block button? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it does it? Like, is that just an MK thing? Not even their other games? You don't think so? Yeah, I didn't think so either. And I'm like, huh, why just MK? Tradition, probably. But it's still kind of odd that Injustice doesn't. I don't really like Injustice that much, to be frank. I don't think it's bad, it's just not for me. I think I'm really into, like, anime fighters. I've been going for almost 3 hours. This is taking way longer. I'm afraid of how long Sonic 3 is gonna take at this rate. I mean, we're at Oil Ocean. Next up is... Ew. Next up is Metropolis Zone. Oh, joy. actually might take a break, and finish Metropolis and the rest of the game after a short break, because, this is a lot longer than I thought it would take. Again, that is the one advantage of automatic ads, is to force me to actually, you know, stretch and everything. Be slightly more responsible. But yeah, I'm gonna take a short break, run ads, and then we will finish the game. When the song started playing right before I left to take a break, I had a brief moment of like, which version is this gonna be? I'm pretty sure Robokai's version starts a bit different, but even then I was like, is this like Robokai's version? It sounded a bit off to me. I might just be really used to... I think it's Overtures that's in, Xrd. I was like, what song is this? This is something Xenoblade. And then the flutes kick in, and it's like, yep, it's definitely the 3 one. I love Xenoblade 3. Again, during the ad break, that's one of the games I'm planning to do, like, to kind of close out this stream series I'm doing. Fortunately, we don't get to hear much of this song, because we're returning to the game. Thank you for the hydration check. I took care of that as well. I didn't really take a stretch break. I definitely should. But again, we should be able to do this in, like, half an hour? We'll see. Also, real quick, I need to double check positioning on the model, and that should be good. So all that's left is Metropolis, Wing Fortress, and I guess is Sky Chase this game, or am I confusing it with Sonic Adventure? Is that also Sky Chase? I don't remember. Either way, Sky Chase, gotcha. But with Tails, this shouldn't be too bad, which is part of the reason I like playing as Tails, because playing as Sonic is like, you know, Super Sonic is like the equalizer, but I don't like playing Super Sonic in platforming stages because you go so fast, you can't really maintain control. So, fun story, I don't hate Metropolis Zone. I actually, maybe it's because I've always played versions not on actual hardware, but I've like never found this as bad. I think it's partly because I never finished this game as a kid, so I had always just heard the horror stories of, oh, Metropolis is so bad, to the point where, like, finally getting through it, it's like, yeah, it's difficult. It's definitely very cheap at times, but it almost felt like oversold because of just all the stuff I'd been hearing about it for, like, years and years. So it is one of those things that almost got, like, oversold on its difficulty. It's kind of funny, sometimes it happens where it's like, oh wow, everyone says this game is really difficult, and it's actually really easy, and then other times it's like, oh wow, this game really is as difficult as everyone said it was. Yeah, I actually kinda feel like Metropolis is the former. Yeah, gotcha moments, a lot of cheap shots is the main issue. And shellcrackers are weird, because it's like, what is their hurt box? I don't know what part... Case in point, I don't know what part you're supposed to actually attack. I just try to avoid them most of the time. And again, this is why I don't try to bother with Chaos Emeralds after a certain point, because there's literally, like, no point trying to hang on to rings in this stage, in my opinion, at least the way I play it. Well, shit. Well, we're bound to have one death. Or multiple. Oh, we didn't hit a checkpoint the entire time. Well then. The other thing about Sonic 2 that I really like is its music. I actually really love the soundtrack. Sonic 3 has a really good soundtrack too, but I think I'm kinda partial to 2's, but again, it could be nostalgia for a lot of it. My other problem with Sonic 2's soundtrack is it's like drum hit sound is so like overused whenever someone's like, let's try and make something sound like a Genesis, and it's just like a kind of a cheap way, I guess, to evoke that nostalgic sound in a way that, frankly, Sonic games directly overuse. Like, I'm so tired of hearing that, like, that drum hit, because, like, they always use it whenever they're trying to imitate this sound. And then you have, like, Sonic 3 music. You can just say Yuna no way, it's okay. I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think of anyone else who has that problem, like, who tries to do Genesis music and misuses Sonic 2, like, snare hit. Because I feel like I've heard other cases of that too, in all fairness. Like, Yuna no is a great musician, just not good at, like, anything past, like, Sonic 3 sound. Trying to sound retro, and anything past Sonic 3 is just not good. And the funny part with Sonic 3 is it was deliberately trying not to sound as like Genesis-y, because it's like, you know, with the composer of that game being different. And a whole legal nightmare, but again, that's a story for whenever we get to Sonic 3, I guess. Mitsuyoshi, I actually don't know who that is. But then, like, okay, the obvious example is Yuzo Koshiro, where it's like, come on. It's like, when certain Genesis-style instrumentation just goes really wrong, it's like, people could get a lot of mileage out of the Genesis sound chip. Okay, where does this go? Okay. Neat. I also feel like this level's just kind of confusing. Like, it can be hard to navigate sometimes. I almost feel like Mario kind of has a oh, Daytona, well, that would... Yeah. The crime there aren't more games that sound like Streets of Rage 2? Yeah. I need to play Streets of Rage 2. I've only played Streets of Kamurocho, which is just like the first level. They're on NSO, I have no excuse. I don't like how smooth that gear rotation is. It's like actually throwing me off, because I'm so used to it being like 5 FPS. Bit stiff, yeah. I'm actually not really a beat-em-up person. I don't know if that's surprising given how much I like fighting games, but yeah, I'm really not into beat-em-ups for the most part. I feel like it is a skill issue, I'll fully concede. Like, I just am playing them like really badly, I'm rushing in too much. Trying to do too many jump-ins, to be fair. Which, I mean, that also describes my fighting game problems. So yeah, that's kind of a secret if you ever play me in a fighting game, is anti-air a lot, because you will probably catch me being reckless. Ow. Well, that sucked. This also sucks, oh my god, we lived. The only beat-em-ups I've actually beaten, like traditional kinds, unsurprisingly, I guess, would be Sailor Moon. Specifically the Genesis version, because it's easier than the SNES games. I legit think, like, Sailor Moon R is, like, really difficult. It's always wild seeing people just fly through that game. But, like, the Genesis one isn't that bad, in my opinion. I've considered adding that into this series. It's not a childhood game of mine, or, like, even a teenager game of mine. But, however, I did get into Sailor Moon as a teen, so it could count. Like, I've thought about including, like, Grief Syndrome of all things, which is like a Madoka Magica fan game. and then like a Sailor Moon game to just kind of like represent like the anime that were also very formative to me. Because obviously I can't just show Monica Magic on stream for obvious reasons. That's like a way to kind of represent that part of my life, basically. This should be the end, right? No? Still going? Okay. Cool. Right. I forgot how long this level was. Come on. Really bad timing on that. That spring just kind of popped into existence. That's weird. You know, actually for Sonic, I still haven't done the Shadow DLC. I never bought it, because it's like $6 for like a 10-minute level, and I'm like... eh. It looks like a fun level, admittedly. It's just, I don't know. I never felt super inspired to buy the DLC. What else was I going to say about Shadow Generations? I feel like I had something else to add about it. Oh, that's what it is. If I had any gripe with Shadow Generations, now that I've let it settle a bit, it's that there's a lot of downtime mid-level. It's kind of like how Forces has a lot of QTEs. Shadow doesn't have as many QTEs, admittedly, but it does have a lot of like cutscene moments that are unskippable in levels. Like trying to S-rank bosses, it takes a lot longer than it should, just because you have like so many cutscenes mid-fight. And again, many of them are unskippable and will actually count with a timer, which is really fun. And like, obviously the Doom Zones are just kind of like... it's a lot of build-up in the middle of a level, to the point where it's kind of like... yeah, there's downtime, basically, compared to like how other Sonic level design ethos works. It's very different, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I felt a lot in the DLC. The DLC is like, this cutscene is great the first time you see it. But then if you're trying to S-rank it, it's like, I really don't need to see this every time. But like, the level itself is really cool, it's just, I wish the cutscenes were skippable. And Frontier's bosses also have that Wyvern. You know, I will never not be bitter about Wyvern, for reasons I've discussed probably multiple times by now, but Wyvern sucks because of the boss rush in the DLC, or the update. Like, I lost so many runs to Wyvern, so like... yeah, I'm always going to hate that boss. Breakthrough It All is amazing, though. I'm not gonna... I don't have any, like, grievances with the music, of course. It's just basically the gameplay that's like, oh my god, this level is ridiculous. And then they overpatched it, I think, to the point where it's, like, not even a challenge on easy. It's decently challenging on hard still. But even then, I almost wish the original difficulty was left in for those who want it. Not that I would want it, but just, you know, for those who do. Especially in a game that has difficulty options. Like, I feel like they should have given more options. Knight's a fun fight. It's funny how easy it is to beat without the trick that the game literally doesn't teach you until the DLC. Like, the patch added a thing. That's another game I actually been contemplating, is Devil May Cry for a game clearing. I've never beaten the first Devil May Cry, or 2 or 3 for that matter. Part of me almost wants to do 2 on stream, just have it documented. Like, straight up. Part of me almost is considering that. Like, it'd be interesting just to have a full DMC2 playthrough, because who the hell would do that? Who would, you know... designed to subject themselves to DMC2. Play DMC2 is the best. I don't know about DMC Devil May Cry though. Might just stick with mainline. I have played 4, which is why I have a soft spot for Nero, oddly more than Dante. So I feel like I'd enjoy 5 a lot, but I feel like if I play 5 first, I'll be spoiled by the quality of life, especially with DMC1. It's like, going back from 1 to 5, or 5 to 1 is gonna suck. So I should play 1 first, is what I've decided. I also just need to stream more days to be able to fit in-game clears in addition to the favorites series. Again, Thursday seems like the best day to add on for streaming. Again, if I do Thursday streams, I'd probably try to start closer to 3, so I can go 3 hours and end at 6 for reasons, but we'll see on that. Last time it didn't go great just because Pikmin was being a pain. I missed the little like tilting animations from Sonic Mania. Like the plane is very static in this this game, which I mean it makes sense for the Genesis, but I'm spoiled by the Mania stuff. And yeah, the stage still keeps going. I kind of forget that sometimes. I really don't understand, like, with Sonic specifically, why they don't really acknowledge that, like, yeah, no, this is Sonic's plane. Tails is just usually the one to fly it. Until the Cyclone that, you know, Tails builds himself, but also the Tornado too, but like, it's weird how they keep interchanging these. Like, I don't know if it's just me, like, but it's weird to me how it's like every other game it feels like Tails switches between the 3 planes. I mean, I guess if you have 3 planes, might as well use them. But like, I want to say in Frontiers, they start out in Sonic's plane. I know Sonic's plane is used in Lost World. If Sonic can just run over water, why does he need a plane? That is also fair. But the thing that's weird to me about this is, like, in Lost World, and I think, mostly Lost World, I think, for the bonus stages, they literally have, like, the plane... No, also Unleashed, I think, has this too. The plane transform. Sonic bought the tornado on a whim. Yeah, that would track for Sonic. It's got a really good deal on it. I don't know if I'm... Well, okay, that answers the question of, am I supposed to be here? The answer is a resounding no. Okay. They thought of that. Like, in Unleashed, for example, the Tornado 1 has the attack mode that the Tornado 2 has in Sonic Adventure. So it's like, did Tails retrofit all the planes to be able to do that? Like, it's interesting. Like, from a lore standpoint, that they've never really explained to my knowledge. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, Tails just upgrades all the planes for fun, but... The Tornado 1 is not the Tornado? Oh, okay. That is news to me. Genuinely had no idea. I thought it was supposed to be the same plane. Tails is, like, as good at naming things as... Tails is going for the Mortal Kombat naming scheme with his planes. If the Tornado 1 is after the Tornado 2, chronologically. Yeah, Unleashed is fun. I have opinions on parts of Unleashed, but for the most part, I actually really like both versions. Again, I'm genuinely excited at some point to give Unleashed a try again for this series, because I want to see how I feel about it, because I've done a couple playthroughs of Unleashed HD since, but I haven't really ever gone back to Unleashed. So yeah, I'm legit curious how I'll end up feeling about it. My take on it is both versions have their own merits. Like, what one version does well, the other version doesn't do well pretty consistently, oddly enough. Except nighttime stages are also kind of rough in both. Like, certain aspects are actually... What the hell? Why are these just floating here? Unless you had a decent frame rate? Unleashed or unleashed? So I don't know how good of a frame rate Unleashed can have. Actually, an Unleashed decompile would be kind of fun. I don't know why they would do that, but it'd be neat. Yeah, the PS2 version is like 360p or something ridiculously low, I want to say, or maybe 480p. Either way, it's like really low res. Yeah, it doesn't run the best. Like, you don't even have the benefit of control with PS2 because you can use a classic controller, you can use a GameCube controller. So yeah, you really have no real benefit to play PS2 unlike some games, or at least you're dodging motion controls. I remember when I actually did that run of trying to finish Sonic 2 for the first time, I struggled a lot on this boss. Being able to fly his tails is like, you break this fight in half. There's no challenge here. Obviously Supersonic similarly completely trivializes this. Oh, that sucks. There was nothing I could do there. I was as far up against the wall as I could be. Neat. Alright, second try. See how this goes. I'm not feeling as confident about my statement where I'm like, I can probably beat Death Egg Robot in like 5 tries. I was like, I'm not so sure now. I've been playing kind of bad today. We'll see how Sonic 3 goes. I don't know if it'll be next week, again, if this, like, not impromptu, we talked about it before, but if this, like, secret race I'm currently planning with someone, with Zon, is actually next week, yeah, it might be a bit until we get to Sonic 3. But again, that depends on if it actually happens next week. Alright, drop down, and we're good to go. That's a weird side sprite for Robotnik. I don't think that's used anywhere else in the game. Just casually jumping up and grabbing a rocket like it's no big deal. Sonic 2 kinda goes hard, not gonna lie. Like, plot-wise, it feels like a really big escalation over Sonic 1 in terms of scope. Having little, like, cutscenes like this definitely set the stage for Sonic 3 to have a lot more, like, inner stage, like, in-between stage transitions. I'm not sure if that's rendered properly. But, it's okay. So Death Egg is dumb. You have no rings. I'm gonna do a speedrun trick here. You can actually deal damage like that. As he's like spawning in. Ideally, we won't get to the part where he gets really obnoxious. Where he's like starts shooting stuff. It might be this phase. Nope, not that one. That was a slow fight for me. I think I've done that fight faster before. You get really good at this fight when you have to do it 20 times, because there are no rings, so if you get hit once in this fight, you die. So do we try to go gutsy, or do we play it safe? Because hypothetically, you can actually hit the body at any time. It's just you have to wait for the claws to be retracted at a certain point, like that. I don't know if you're really encouraged to do that, because what actually is the case is when he lands like this, it bows down, then you shoot his arms out. So yeah, you can deal damage a lot faster, in all fairness, but You have to play a little fast and loose to actually pull that off. Yeah, like anytime the claws aren't extended fully, you can jump over them and hit him, basically. I shouldn't be doing this. This is stupid. Why am I doing this? Like, I'm not that confident in my skill. Why am I taking these risks? That should be 5. I think. So that'll be 6, I think. This takes 12 hits, by the way. It's one of the tankier bosses in the series. Until Superstars, that is an important classification, or clarification there. Because nothing will out-tank a Superstars boss fight. The funny part is, if you know what you're doing, this fight's actually really easy. It's like scary because you don't have rings, but it's like... It's such a fixed pattern, and it's pretty easy to do. The only hurdle I can see is Knuckles, because he jumps slower. He jumps so low that he might have issues clearing the claws. Oh shit, that was almost bad. This is the boss that gave you trouble when you played Generations last week? Yeah, that's fair. This boss is kind of annoying in Generations because of like hitboxes. Okay, that should be like 8 or something. Yeah, the Rush Adventure bosses, Sonic Rush's fights are pretty miserable also. You have the Superstars problem being like, oh, you have to wait for an attack cycle to finish. So they just kind of take forever. Alright, apparently we have a follower goal, so thank you for all the followers. Again, followers are anonymous. Alright, there we go. First try, let's go. Slow and steady wins the race. That wasn't too bad, actually. Again, the fight's not that bad. The only problem is not having rings. If you could take damage, it would be a lot less dangerous, obviously, but once you know the pattern, it's like, oh. I'm just surprised I still remembered the pattern, to be honest. That's the part that I'm actually like, oh, neat. Cool. Yeah, first try. Let's go. Yeah, thank y'all. Sweet 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 is a very good song. We do not speak of the Sonic 06 version. But I really love the original vocal version of the song. So it's gonna take you 5? Yeah, I want it to be a little bit like, you know... I didn't want to jinx myself entirely, so I was like, let's go with 5. That's the number I can probably meet, you know, fairly reasonably. And yeah, also a case of like, you know, remembering the pattern helped. Now again, I definitely took a lot of risks that I should not have taken. So yeah, that's the end of Sonic 2. There's actually a quirk I don't like in Sonic's ending, and I've heard this take a lot. Basically, if you have all the Chaos Emeralds, Super Sonic just flies down. Instead of being, like, the tornado catching him. So a lot of people actually prefer the non-emerald, all emeralds version of the ending, for Sonic specifically, just because you have like the camaraderie of Tails rescuing Sonic at the end. It's a small thing, but it's just like, yeah, I kind of agree with that. And also because I could never get the Chaos Emeralds as a kid, nor could I beat the game, period. So yeah, Sonic 2, this is the game I actually have a lot more nostalgia for. This is like, actually a favorite in comparison to Sonic 1, which is like, just part of the trilogy basically, the lead up to the trilogy. Mark Cerny, wonder what he ended up doing after this. But basically, again, Tails quickly became my favorite Sonic character for the longest time. I really... Super Sonic standing on the wing would probably blow it out. Yeah, that's also fair. But yeah, overall, I have a lot of fun memories. Again, I will fully admit the difficulty spike at the end of the game is ridiculous. Like, I'm not gonna defend that. Like, no way in hell am I defending the difficulty spike at the end of, like, once you get past, like, you know... What's the cave level? Mystic Cave. Yeah, once you get past Mystic Cave, the difficulty spike keeps going up for a while. This version isn't as bad because we have unlimited lives, frankly, but, you know, doing this, like, legit on, like, Genesis would be very difficult. Because you also have slowdown, because of all the... Like, every time one of the starfish enemies, like, fire their spines, and if a lot of them all are happening at once, the game lags really bad. So, like, it's way harder on actual hardware. Someday I should just boot up the... It's on NSO. Someday I should just boot up that version and see if I can beat it on there. Like, without rewinds or save states or anything. See if I can beat Sonic 2 closer to actual Genesis spec than Origins. The mobile port also adds that little cutscene of it careening towards Angel Island. And you also have a small recreation of the Sonic 3 box art with Knuckles hiding in the bush there. A very nice touch, honestly. Though they actually didn't get around to making a mobile version of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. They brought back some of that team to work on 3 and Knuckles for this collection now. This is like the only one that directly ties into anything, because a lot of the other cutscenes are kind of like, you don't need to immediately launch into the next game, in theory, I feel. At least that's just my way of looking at it. And with that, we have reached the end of Sonic 2 again. Definitely a game I enjoy a lot still. Yeah, that takes care of that for now. Next up, we have, for Fox Girls favorites, we have Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which hopefully, fingers crossed, we can do in one stream. It'll probably take about this amount of time, like 2 to 3 hours. I don't know when I'll do that though, maybe this Thursday, as given that next week seems like this is going to be a very sidetracked week for projects. Because again, on Monday we're actually playing something different, because I want to do something relevant to the date, and there, again, if we do another stream next week, it'll probably be something totally different. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, maybe on Thursday we'll continue this. It depends on if I can kind of adjust my sleep schedule enough to manage that. But we'll see. And with that, I am very worn out. I am extremely tired. Allergies are not my friend today. But hi. Thank you all for watching. It was fun going through these 2 games. Again, even if Sonic 1 was kind of like not the most cooperative, I'm hoping Sonic 3 will be a lot kinder to us than either of these 2 games were. Off screen or off stream, I also need to look up a map of the special stage ring locations, because I don't remember where all of them are in this game, and we need 14 of them, which is a much bigger number than in Mania. The other question is, do we end up doing Origins for this? Do we just power through? I kind of want to do this version for the stream, just because I think it's interesting to talk about, because there's so many weird quirks to it. Things that are not working as intended. The music. I almost think this version might be interesting to talk about, even if it's like not the optimal way to play this game by any stretch of the imagination. I would recommend the some version with like one of the modded versions, basically. Air complete. I might look into those to see what kind of quality of life they add, and in which case I might do one of those instead. We'll figure that out. I actually have the Genesis collection. I didn't have the full set. I only have 1, 2, 3. And I also have Golden Axe for some reason. I think it was free. So I could do Sonic 3 Air through that. That's an option. So yeah, I am fading very quickly. My brain is being very, like, swirly, I think is the word I'm looking for, because it's very much like a little not overwhelmed, but like a little tired. I didn't sleep the best last night, to be fair. So yeah, I'm gonna stop here. We do not have the energy. I do not have the energy to start Sonic 3 tonight. Oh yeah, the other weird frustrating thing about this collection is the island tour mode. This is paid DLC to be able to zoom in on the island diorama. I'm not even kidding. It's like, why? You also have changes in state as well for the islands. So for example, we actually don't get to see it. But like Sonic CD, for example, you can see, like, I think Little Planet is actually freed if you beat the game. And then like Sonic 3, for example, like, the menu background changes depending on state of Angel Island in the file you're currently playing. The other quirk with this collection is how files work, where again, sometimes the cutscenes will play if you've seen them already, other times they won't. It's so inexplicable. However, actually, like, there are no save slots. The save slots are dependent on character, which is really frustrating. In an ideal world, I wish they could have backported the Sonic 3 character select into Sonic 1, 2, and CD. To get around that and actually have like proper save files, because it's really frustrating not having proper save files, I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, it's like if you want to like start over with Tails, you have to delete that file, which is just really frustrating, to be honest. So yeah, a lot of weird quirks in this collection, but again, we haven't seen anything yet. We haven't even gone to Sonic 3, where most of the problems with the collection are. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, a good evening, maybe a good week, depending on if I don't actually stream next week, but we'll see. Yeah, thank you all for the support as always. We actually hit 80 followers, which I was not expecting today, so that was nice. Yeah, I definitely am very worn out, and I think I'm gonna rest now. I'm debating if I want to do a raid or not. I guess we could, right? I mean, there's an obvious target who is currently live, and I don't always get to raid because their start time is all over the place. Oh, that's ironic. Just scrolling through. Not ironic, coincidental. I don't think I have a raid message though, ironically. As fun as the stream was, I legitimately don't think I have a raid message. Yeah. I'll do that anyway. I'm just gonna send y'all over to Claire. I don't have any raid message in mind, and you can do like the Fox or Fops raid, whichever you prefer. Both are applicable, apparently. Yeah, I don't think there was anything particularly memorable said tonight, so we'll just do that. But yeah, good night everybody, take care.